Okay, let's get it back underway then, shall we? We're back with Dominions. I knew it wouldn't be done in one session, and it probably won't be done in two either. But we are Jawet, the Court of Steam. Really rather enjoying this nation despite our perilous predicament. How about a quick recap on who we are and who we're fighting against? We are largely Abyssians with humans, although it's not your typical Abyssian-human crossbreeds. We have, I believe, 2 of those. Axe champions and sword champions. No, we've actually enslaved humans. They're kind of Ulmish humans in build, but they come built in with fire resistance. Their stats are quite low, but that betrays the fact that they are slaves, and this is both good and bad, and I think we can use the good more than the bad. That means they're dirt cheap, I barely have to pay them or feed them, and they can march off to their plentiful deaths, all the while hitting like trucks. If they ever land a hit with that great sword, lovely. And their protection stats, this is the main one I'm looking at, protection through the roof at 21. 20% more health than a standard human. These are amazing. The problem is I can't mass them just yet because of more logistical concerns. We'll look at that in a moment. Otherwise, we have excellent fire access. Out of any fort, we can crank out a 2 fire, or 2 fire, 2 blood, and 2 fire, 2 wind. I don't think we'll be leaning into blood in this run, but it is an option there. We have back row blenders by the way of our blessed Hellbent guards. We took a larger bless, as well as +1 hit point and poison resistance, but we will probably just be using the larger for much of this because blessing is a pain due to our very poor access to priests. Just level 1 crummy little guys here. Nothing really to write home about, although they are cost effective. Other than that, our high level mages come out with fire, air, and glamour with 2, basically 2.1 added random paths across that. And the other guy that we have here, he substitutes the air for blood. Notably, though, I do have access to islands with sailing. Not sure if we're going to make much use of that, because max size 3 means we can really only take human-sized people there. Haven't given much thought to this guy yet, the Jwetic champion. I really want to use him, but he's very expensive, and money is at a premium. He's expensive in everything. And whilst the rider is whatever, the main thing is this Salamander's fire flare. It's incredible. I really want to put it to use. Also, firepower. So the guy here, the Salamander that we're riding on, gets even better during or in hot areas. Doesn't improve the fire flare, but it'll improve it as a unit. And then I reckon what's going to make the solid core of my front line, the fire followers here. For an Abyssian, that's good defense skill. Big old tower shield, he throws axes, repels with a long spear, and he breaks down castle walls, all whilst expelling heat. I love them. I want more of them. I want lots and lots of fire followers with backline blenders of Hellbent guards and an enslaved army of heavy human slave champions, all led by a slave. Some people were questioning the validity of this. A slave who is a commander. Yeah, it happens. It's happened in history, and it will damn well happen in this fantasy. That means he's not very skilled on his own, but he has that massive protection. He's got that inbuilt fire resistance. But he has inspirational, meaning he gives morale to all units, but he's also a taskmaster himself. He will make our slaves have higher morale and less likely to break in combat. That's one of the biggest downsides of slaves, other than their lower stats. They break easy in combat. So having somebody that can whip them into shape is fantastic. And we have some fantastic rulers like that. One in particular is it Caius? No, it's not Caius. We do have a particularly good unit for leadership. Is it actually Forte? No, it's Wick. Wick, but not John. They became a hero. They have improved morale and leadership. This means they can lead a ton of units, and they get even further morale boosts for that. This is a fantastic leader. Long may he live. He's got excellent armor, but he has humankind hit points, so a little squishy if anybody gets in with some armor-ignoring magic, for example. This guy would die to... Well, I was about to say immolate, and then I was about to say frozen heart, but he resists fire and cold. Man, I like Wick right here. Anyway, what is our situation? That's our nation. What's the situation? We have been cornered really rather horribly. So I run a balance modification to every map that I make. So in Dominions, you randomly generate a map. So it'll make this map, for example. It infinitely scrolls up and down. But it will just randomly place down capitals. I run a balancer, so it makes that every capital must be placed on a valid province, and you can choose what valid is. I generally just go, you must have at least 5 connecting provinces to your capital, because it's very important what resources you have adjacent to your capital, because it dictates what you can recruit in your capital, and that's generally your most important units. So to make it fair and balanced for everybody, we all get one of these balanced starts. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connectors. We have Asphodel here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 of them are farms. Very nice. We've got Anakimhim, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 connectors. Very good for them. Any other capitals that we know of? Well, I think we know of all of them by now, but where in the world are they? Pislarna is right here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections. Sea ones don't matter for land. So they are balanced in terms of number of provinces, but I still think our start was rather gimped. We are against the wall, so to speak. We cannot go into the water. We're a fire nation, so it's very unlikely for us to get competitive troops that we can put into the water. We could get these naked walking fish tacos if we wanted to, but they are pathetic and I don't really want them. I would hire them, they'd take maybe 1 province and die, possibly in the process. Point is, here's our situation, kind of cornered, and the provinces around us have all been pretty garbage. They've been very small, with low population, low income, and the resources largely not that much to write home about. We've got a swamp with 2,000 people. We've got a wasteland with 2,000 people. We've got another swamp with 2,000 people. Now we have 2 very normal looking provinces, but they're still pretty mediocre. And then another freaking swamp. 5,000 people, but still low income, low resources. Not a good start, and to make matters worse, we are a little penned in. Asphodel, of all nations, is to our south, and their carrion corpses, keeping us a bit locked in. They're building up a fort on Tatooine and staring us down in Shikoku. The problem with Asphodel is that their dominion kills population, and it kills it fast. I believe it's 1% per candle of dominion. So I would be surprised if anybody is still alive in Asphodel or its cap circle. That means even if we were to push into Asphodel, we wouldn't get anything out of it. This would just be a wasteland. No people to recruit, no people to tax. Horrible. Leave that to somebody else. And we thought, well, that's fine. We can arc around our location, go Neverwinter, Balaton, Airlock, take Kyoto. Well, unfortunately, Anakim had a different idea. They thought they would do that instead of us. So they beelined for Kyoto. They smashed Kyoto, and I got an insight into the problem that we have with having Anakim on our doorstep. If you're a regular Dominions player and you've never heard of some of these names and places, that's because we're running the randomizer mod, so most of these nations, in fact all of them other than Asphodel, are randomly generated. So this is Anakim right here. They're made of Avites. They are demi-giants essentially. 1/3 larger than a human, strong, high hit points, terrifying. Well, on their own, they'd be pretty manageable. Sure, they're strong, but we have protection. What is problematic is that they come with inbuilt fire resistance. Not a lot, but enough to negate the horrendous heat that we expel from our front line. So one of our big advantages will be moot against them. That is a shame. Some of them ride around on giant bears. Very interestingly, they've got this Depraved Destroyer. This is the kind of unit I love, and they've got them as their sacreds. Splendid. Because one of the downsides about this particular lizard is that he usually has low morale. Sacred units all have high morale. Scary guy. So yeah, these guys pretty strong, and they're staring me down. They also built up Kyoto and are eyeing me up. To make matters even worse, as we headed north, we tried to grab the farmlands because we really needed something that gives income, and farmland gives a lot. Well, we got as far as the Olive Isle, and then Pislarna, the walking fish tacos, decided they want a piece of me. They declared war when we shared a border between the Olive Place and the Seto Inland Sea. So this was already a pretty bad situation, but fortunately my galaxy-sized brain was able to suss out a solution for us. I see you there, Baron. You got solutions of your own, I see. So our brilliant idea was to actually fall back from the Olive Isle. I moved back my main army here with Caius over to Mystery Lake. Thebes, I'm just going to have to hope that it holds with province defense. It's pretty good, heavy cavalry province defense. And my belief is that there's going to be more friction between Anakim and Pislarna than either of the nations with me. So I will stand here and bide my time and hope that these two kill each other over Kyoto, because the AI loves these throne provinces. Do we know what throne this is? It must be the Throne of Zeal, of course. I've already taken it. Unfortunately, it's getting Dominion, which is making it hard to keep my own Dominion on the border, but we will persevere. That's why we have priests out here preaching until their throats go dry. But we have other problems. One of the biggest one is that Pislarna, I believe, has the highest income out of everybody in the game. And because they are amphibious fish creatures, they can emerge from the waters at any point along my coastline and attack me. They did that already before in the Netherlands right here, which is why I pumped up the defenses at great personal cost. And it's why I actually have several armies just positioned defensively. I hate doing this. Armies should be used to expand, expand, expand. Gain more power, gain more strength. But that's no good if my backside is wide open to being pillaged by these fish creatures. Let's get a good idea of what Pislarna have for us. Here we go, all Ichthyids all the way down. We actually took a vote on whether or not we'd play this nation, and it almost won, but almost is not the same as winning. Might as well be called first loser. Small problem here, they got poisonous barbs, also poisonous weapons. That wouldn't be a problem if I got my bless online, because we have minor poison resistance, but then I need to bless my units, and it is difficult to do because I have poor access to priests. I might bring in my prophet if all goes poorly in that regard. So the point is, I'm more happy about these benign units. They're not great, these units. They're really not great. Their main advantage is they don't use iron, so their armor and weapons aren't going to rust on us. They can also net us. They got harpoons that net, stone weapons here. And of course that poison. Even these guys go berserk, so they're not going to rout if you start hitting them. And they look quite cheap. Look at that, low-cost units. Pislarna can pump these guys out like there's no tomorrow. On top of that, they got very powerful mages, although the AI is very bad at using powerful mages. But the main problem with these guys is logistically. They could attack us from anywhere along here, so I need to be at the ready. So we're pinned in pretty bad. Pislarna to the north, Anakim to the north as well as the west, and down south we have the horrific dominion of Asphodel, which is scary. What do I even do against this? All these dispossessed spirits? I don't think they are immune to fire, so I might have to hope that I can burn them to death before they can use their magical attacks to kill me, because I do not have magic weapons. I think I would have to use fire elementals to defeat Asphodel, but I hope it doesn't come to that. Part of my brilliant plan was to not cut off Anakim, so that Anakim would have to deal with Asphodel. There's also Fargard. I don't know what's happened with them. They got pinned down by Independence and seem to have just died a death of their own. And it's not a lot. There's about 30 knights here, but Fargard have just been unable to do anything. I've got a couple of spies keeping an eye on the area. But it's kind of bizarre. That means this whole area that Fargard should have taken is ripe for the taking. If I'd moved faster, I could have secured this myself, but then Anakim would come knocking, and Pislarna's right there. Out of all the nations, Pislarna's the only one literally at war with us, but we'll see how that develops. So you'd be forgiven for thinking, wow, the situation looks very bad, Jake, and in a way you're right. However, we have an advantage. Our sacred right here, the Hellbent Guard. He has dark power, but not any old dark power. Dark power 4. That is an enormous value. That will buff, well, it doesn't actually say what it buffs, but I know that it's going to buff strength, attack, and defense skill if these units are in total darkness. Darkness is an expensive thing to get. You'll have to play 2 glamour spells or 1 very powerful death spell to bring darkness into combat. But what if we could have darkness for free? And that is why we're going underground. This has been very much ripe for the taking. We slaughtered the Independents here. The Independents that you see underground usually have dark vision, but they don't have dark power like we do. So we're able to have a nice front line of partially dark visioned fire followers. They've got dark vision 50, so they're slightly encumbered by the darkness. Just lowers attack and defense skill by 1. But my backline blenders are supercharged. Forte has some of them right here. Look at that, attack skill plus 4 from darkness. Defense skill plus 4 from darkness. Does anything else get boosted, by the way? Yeah, the strength, of course. They also get boosted by enlarged as well. It's wonderful. Boy, whoa, I didn't know this actually. Darkness boosts your combat speed. Incredibly cool. So we have been spreading out and taking the underground as fast as possible because this underground, it's rather large and extremely interconnected. So our goal is to secure all the areas where it connects up to the surface area And unless we already control the surface area, we need to fortify the underground, so-called plug the holes. In addition to that, we also want forts strategically placed so we boost the administration of the area, which allows us to get more money. So we've got a fortification here in Yellow Caves, and it's as big as we can make them, I think. Yeah, a fortress. Admin 30 means 30% more output from the provinces that it's adjacent to. It doesn't stack, but it means the Cavern Realm and the Mines of Despair are pretty much half our income between them. It's certainly up there. Maybe that's overselling it, but it's a lot of money coming in from these provinces. We love the forest caves. So the idea is get down here, make it safe, build up lots of temples to build our brilliant dominion. Our dominion is boiling hot, which I only recently learned does actually kill population, but that's nowhere near what Asphodel does. So where we are right now, we're cleaning off some of these provinces. I really want to corner Janiga. Janiga is right here. It was a very rude thing to find when we got Stalagmia. We found them in Hot Hollows and they're already building up. However, I can fight these guys with relative impunity so long as I dominate the underground. We should be much better than their units underground, and they can't really take the fight to us above ground because they would have to penetrate Asphodel, or Anakim, or Pislarna to get to us. I don't see that happening. It might, but I don't see it happening. So, what do we know about Janiga? They're under Shy Mystic, right? Yes, they're Illithids. Now, some of these guys can see in the dark, as Will Champion can, but the regular rank and file cannot. This guy right here, the Champion, he also has dark vision. I don't think I need to fear these guys. They don't resist our fire. Poison barbs, I hope that's not too common. No, you know, I think we'll be alright dealing with these guys. They can certainly soul slay us and mind hack us with their astral mages, but I reckon we're going to be able to push them out of the darkness without any real problem. Besides, any backline mind blasters are going to get mulched by our glorious army of Hellbent guards. So I'm rather confident in the situation. I'm going to seal them off here and here by claiming the land, and then I will declare war and very quickly rip through these provinces. There's a lot to take, though, and plug up, though. Hot Hollows, Umbra, Umbor, and Nether Mines all appear to have connections to the surface, and I need to make sure that those connections are, well, plugged. They each require expensive investments into palisades and into fortresses, but I will do that because holding all of the underground uncontested is going to be a massive benefit to me, financially, resource-wise, and tactically, because the ability to crawl out of the caves almost anywhere in the world, anywhere that you see this little cave symbol, is somewhere it connects to the underground. Being able to just plop out and slaughter at my heart's content is just amazing tactically. So that is the strategy. Yeah, truly the underground is going to save you this game. Yeah, we needed some advantage and we found it here. It was never actually the plan, right? I knew that maybe late game I could get the darkness spell up. I didn't know about the glamour spell until somebody told me mid-game, but the point was I was looking at this thinking, ooh, these guys could still be very competitive into late game due to dark power. But I did not consider that going underground would be our actual solution because it's a relatively new thing, right? Dominion 6 introduced the underground realm. It's not necessarily ingrained in the head, but it's going to work for us. Forte's moving into Mudwater Cave to secure it whilst Don Gero builds up the palisades. Pius is building a temple because I really need my dominion around here. Look at all this cold. We do not want to fight in the cold. It's not that huge a disadvantage, but turning off my heat aura is definitely not that great for me. I really want that heat burning my enemies. Heat 3 means in the cold this stuff gets negated really badly, and in hot situations it gets inflamed even better. I don't know the actual numbers. One of these days I'll look into them. So yes, Forte goes over there. Wick, but not John, moves over here. I need to double check some of my orders. So you guys, you're on attack. I'm actually going to try putting these guys on fire closest instead of attack, because I think when they're on attack they explicitly don't use their melee. So actually go fire on closest. If they're engaged in melee they will of course attack even if they're told to fire, but I want to have them do that so that they use their throwing axes. Why do their throwing axes have 0 precision? Oh well, this guy's a bad example. He's lost an eye. Let's have someone that hasn't lost an eye. Yeah, there we go. Throwing axes have very low precision, but if the enemy is all piled together, some of those axes are going to connect, and when they do, they kill before they engage in melee. It's all in all a good deal for us, I'm going to say. Alright, get moving on in there. What about the other units that we have? We've got Bob here. Hold and attack rear on these guys. Couldn't you just attack rear? No, I want you to hold because we have province defense here. And as for you guys, I want you to, again, fire on closest. See how that works for you. I was thinking you might hit province defense, but that's okay. Province defense can die a death. Kind of crummy units here anyway. What about you, Landstalker? You guys don't even have orders. Please hold and attack rear. And you guys, please fire on closest. You stay further back and stay behind troops after holding a turn. And Caius, are you looking good? You guys fire on the closest. You attack rear. You stay behind troops after holding. That all looks fine. I'm going to sort my recruitment a bit. Let's have... Highest priority, of course, is to make as many of these guys as possible. My Hellbent Guards can only be made in the capital as my sacred unit. And once I have as many of those as I can get, then I want as many fire followers as possible. Yeah, you might notice that I am very poor all of the time. Buying mercenaries has never been an option. It's very hard to buy mercenaries as a human player against the AI because you're always blind buying. You have to make an offer, and if the AI outbids you, the AI will get them. You don't lose your investment, but you also lose the ability to make use of that money for that turn. So if I really wanted the Lost Legion, it cost 50 gold and I bet 100. That's 100 gold I cannot use this turn. I'll get it back next turn because I'll be outbid by the AI, but it's very unhelpful to get these. It also means the AI always gets them, and they always have more units to expand with. It can be a pain in the bum is what they can be, but I'm never going to turn them off, right? Right, Bob, you continue to hold the line here. Is there anything else I need to worry about? Yeah, see Princess Zelda here. I was hesitating on this, but I will hesitate no more. I am going to have them twice born. It costs 10, I believe, death gems for you to do that. And of course, we don't have 10 death gems, but we can make 10 death gems. Please use alchemical abilities to make 1, 2, 3 more death gems, and then cast twice born. Once I have you twice born, I'm going to go out and site search with you because I'll be less concerned about your life. And you twice born in the capital, meaning if and when you die out there, you'll be brought back to the capital. I really shouldn't be underutilizing you. You shouldn't be researching. And you're old as balls. You can die eventually. Get out there and site search. And then eventually you're such a great gateway into death that I want to make great use of you. Does the AI cheat? The AI has a few cheats, and on top of that, they are boosted by the difficulty settings to have more resources, income. I don't know if they get extra gems, but yeah, they do cheat. But find me a strategy game in which the AI does not cheat. They can also recruit units whilst under siege, which is a bit BS in my opinion, but I suppose it stops you from ruining the AI by just putting them under a token siege. I want to upgrade the whole... There's a lot of everything I want to do around here, but the biggest priority I have right now is seal in Janiga, and then once I squeeze them out of the underground, everything is fine. This is not taking into account any possibility that I get attacked by Anakim, or Pislarna get aggressive, or Asphodel come for me. All of those are concerns, but hopefully they're too busy killing each other to worry about little old me. Pretty sure they cheat in Age of Empires 2 for resource gain. Wouldn't that be very easy to check? And surely would be heavily documented by now. You know, one of the most popular RTS games out there. But you know, RTS games, ugh. Right, Princess Zelda is cast Twiceborn. Good. If she dies, she might even gain a level in death, which would be cool. As is often the case, we search for magic sites and we find nothing. And Anakim have to get themselves a new prophet. Rubinowitz, the captain. That's, well, that's something. Shivering Isles. What's going on in Shivering Isles? Whatever it is, we have our eyes on it. Also gives me a chance to press C, so it highlights units. Some people play this game without pressing C. Please press C if you're streaming Dominions, so we can see where the units are. This stuff is hard to notice. And this is what it looks like without that. Now it's a lot clearer. Anyway, God knows what they're trying to achieve here. They're achieving getting themselves killed, but these little midget guys have almost no chance. Very, very weak units. They would need a lot of magical empowerment to be good for this. Their acolyte's already fleeing after getting shot. What happened to you? Yeah, you took a short bow in your arms. You took 3 of them, actually, and then you decided, no, I'm out of here. And your crummy little guy has decided, well, we have no leadership, so we're leaving too. I do feel for these guys. That is Ugan Buzig. Their units are garbage, man. Let's actually have a look at how garbage they are. Before we look at the rest of this, even. So, Ugan Buzig. Very difficult nation to play as, I'd imagine. They have good nature access, and I do love nature access. They have fire access. I do love fire access. Water and astral. 1, 1, 1, 2 with 2.1 boosters. Okay, so they've got a very powerful, ooh, and sacred mage here. But again, he's tiny. He will die to a stray arrow. What an investment to lose. I've never understand how to make use of Hoburgs unless they're given clockwork armor. And they ride around on these little dwarf elephants. An elephant the size of a man. Just a baby elephant? And then their sacred ride around on bats, but there's no protection. A sacred unit with 1 protection and 7 hit points? The militia's going to kill this thing. However, it is a defense tank. Look at that. Very hard to hit with 19 defense. But the bat itself only has 12, so likely anyone striking it's going to kill the bat. And then the rider no longer gets the mounted bonus, and then they die. I don't see it. Hell on high water to win with these guys. Negative death power gets better in growth scales. Interesting. But what are you meant to do with these? I just do not know. Anyway, I don't think the AI knows either, and they're likely going to die, but they can try. Damn well they can try. What else is going on? Stuff's happening in Silver World. That's us, of course. We're attacking, I think. Yeah, so this is our power. So dark visioned pale ones, these underground cyclopses. Up go our back row blenders, down come our back row blenders, and squish go the pale ones. The pale ones can hit pretty hard, but they have to hit hard. Instead, they just die. All the while, our devilish heat aura also tries to engulf them, but battles over too quickly for us to set them on fire and have our filthy way with them. But this is exactly what I was here to do. The glowing caverns gives us unrest and magic. Socotra gives us fire gems, which is very welcome. Fire gems, glamour gems. Well, glamour gems I'm probably just going to melt down for other better gems, but it's possible to use them. I could make spheres of glamour dream magic stuff as a research booster. Somebody pointed that out in the comments as well. I'll have to consider that. What else is going on? Pislarna's been spying on us. The bastards. A race of fishmen dwelling on coastlines, skilled subterfuge, infiltrating enemy strongholds. This guy's been spying on us, not just being a scout, but a spy. And they're still cheap. It's good to get a cheap spy. They can do fancy things to increase unrest, but I'm just glad he's dead. Anyway, not a lot going on for us, which is a shame. We should really be making more of our situation, but what can a man do? Let's go and explore for more and better sites. So I'm going to send Zelda out to Socotra, Shikoku, and Luxan, because they're quite likely to have good sites for us. Got to use mages to site search after all. Toad Raider, you just wait there. You're ferrying around units for us. Ryu and the Wolf, please site search over here in Quantum Gulf for me. And just work your way around. Go Moonlake, TikTok, Deimos, everywhere really. We've been really lacking on the site searching, and we need to change that right now. Forte is going to make sure that no Asphodelians pierce through into Mudwater Cave while I'm building the palisade. Because if they cracked us here, they would stop the palisade, and that's a big problem, because it's a big investment. But now I'm fairly confident with these units, plus the province defense. Wow, that is one sad province defense. Just a couple of cavemen. Let's make it more than a couple of cavemen. Anyway, we need to hold this, and Forte, that's going to be your job. Pilius has built a temple, which is good. We must stop the Asphodelian dominion right here. Should I also pray? It is very important, but it's also important to build up more temples. I'm going to work on the temples instead. Get over to Cold Hollows and do exactly that. Good to see that Janiga is not in a position to move into Endless Cavern or Lightless Cavern. We will take both, and that will ensure that they can't expand here without declaring war upon me. So add a little bit of province defense, move into Endless Caverns, then Lightless Caverns. Wick, took attrition, but he's also bolstered himself back up, so Wick can very comfortably take all of this. So he's probably going to go Endless, Lightless, Crystal, Underhome, Deep, Caverns, and then maybe even... I think Forte can take Gold Crags. She'll cycle back, and then Wick will mount the attack from Lightless Cavern into Mile Deep, Realms of Silence, Chilled Cavern. So yes, Wick, you're going to be stationed here for some time, so get cozy with your surroundings. How about Emperor Karl? Not Karl Marx here, but do build me a temple. We need those. Temples cost a lot of money and don't really give any output, but it is so important to keep your dominion high. Otherwise, you'll be what is called Dom-killed, where nobody believes in your god anymore. And then you die. I don't have the money to build something else over here. I don't like that. I really don't like that, but I'm just going to have to suck a fat one on that. Wolf is going to wait. Well, you know what? On the very rare occasion that there's any kind of sacred site, go and site search for me. There won't be, but let's do it anyway. Oh my, look at this. This is interesting. Asphodel are making use of the lands around Fargard. Fargard is dead. They're not coming back from this. I don't know what happened to them. How did anything happen to them? Look at it. This is a great nation. Great units. Powerful units. Shadow Retributor. He's so powerful he costs double Sacred Recruitment. He's got Glamour. He's got 17 Protection, 19 Strength with a Quarterstaff. And these are really good units, these Asmegs. Yeah, size 5, good hit point, excellent stats with Earth and Death magic. Got Warlord and Bleak. Oh, wow. Straight out the gate, 2 death. Possibility for 4 death. 4 natural death? That's incredibly strong. But yeah, they're going to die because for some strange reason maybe they kept trying to expand into Malton. The AI can be dumb like that and suicide into big amounts of indies. But that's all for Connaught. They're dead. They are deader than dead. So I'm going to keep my spy in Malton to keep an eye on any action happening around the throne. I really want to see what happens here, so I have to keep Liu Bei positioned at New Liverpool. That gives me eyes in here already. I do want to see what happens around Gratis, because Gratis goes into Umbor. Oh god, this is interesting. Right, so Asphodel came through Celadon City and is now laying siege to Janiga. I really, really want Janiga to win this. It's actually very important. If Asphodel win, then I have to carve through Asphodel to take the Underground, and it's very important to me to take the Underground. But Asphodel are on my border, so declaring war on Asphodel means I suddenly have a lot of pressure on this border. And it's pressure I'm not going to do very well in because my capital is very undefended. It's got a very weak underbelly. You strike into this anywhere and my capital is in grave trouble. I have the units there, but you know, I want to put those units to use, not just stand around smelling their own farts. Right, Godzilla, you already checked Socotra. You found pretty much nothing. I'm sending in Princess Zelda to search this, and Zelda's going to be better at it than you. So maybe you could do me a solid and go underground. Yes, I'm going to send Godzilla underground so that Godzilla can do some site searching underground. Just to do it ahead of Zelda. Zelda will do it better, but now is better than better. Otherwise, the recruitment continues unabated. This is fine. I even have a spare holy point, and I do really want as many Hellbent guards as possible. So I'm going to do this. I'm not necessarily going to be thrilled about it, but it's what I'll do. I'd love to get more mages out as well, but money is a problem. Everything is a problem. I really wish I was expanding more. But troops are a limitation. For example, I could move Forte into Gold Crags and just take that right now. But the risk of these 150 Asphodelian units coming straight down into Mudwater and killing me is dangerous. It's actually kind of why I shouldn't move Pilius out, because you can preach away some of the undead. You know, Forte, you just don't have the numbers to hold this, do you? Biotic God Volus. Should you move in for Mudwater Caves already? Well, your preaching is currently doing nothing, and some reinforcements would not go... undesired. Unappreciated. Something like that. Okay. I can try this, but I will probably want someone else to bring reinforcements down with them. Notably... Whoa, this is actually quite notable. My priests have leadership 50. They can bring units with them. Fascinating. So I could actually bring Carl down to grab reinforcements for Mudwater as well. Very important that I don't get broken through here. I'm at my most vulnerable right now. Reinforcements? I don't think so. Well, there's no indication that Asphodel want to fight me, but if I were them, I'd be choking me out before I get too strong. You're recruiting the right unit? Yes, the Hellbent Guards. Very important that I recruit the Hellbent Guard and not the Demon-Bred Winged Champion. Despite the latter having the cooler name, they are much worse units. Yeah, they got the Dark Vision, but they don't have the Dark Power. Their stats are worse. They're not the Sacred ones, so they're smaller and weaker. And to add insult to injury, they cost me more upkeep. Less upfront, but more upkeep, and upkeep is often what matters. Anyway, not ideal, but things are okay. There's one other minor thing that I really want to do, and that is position myself to start recruiting Woodhen Druids. I need nature gems, and currently I have no nature gem income and no way to search for nature. That is a big investment. It means I'm going to have to build a fort, not a fort, a temple and a workshop here in Socotra. A laboratory, not a workshop. Means I need a priest here and a mage. Godzilla's a mage. Brelix is a mage, but they're currently doing my very limited research. Anyway, point is, I want those down as soon as I can afford them, so I can get this Woodhenge Druid. That is important, but everything's important right now. Socotra is so vulnerable. I know. Could be attacked from Hudson Bay. Could be attacked from Conus Isle. It's also garbage. It's absolute garbage. 24 income, 16 resources, low population, low supplies on it. But it's very important to my cap circle because I still need its recruitment point resources to be able to bring in more units here. So it doesn't even have a connection to Underground, but that's why we have Landstalker there. Landstalker with not too shabby units either. Lots of Hellbent Guards, and they all are Hellbent Guards. Oh well. Well, boy, howdy, says Selectimo. It's been a minute since I caught a Jake stream, and Dominion 6-2. What a treat. And some people think there are no Dominions fans out there. Right, we finally found something. No, we did not. I'm even bringing a decent mage here, and I can't find any holy sites. Of course, you're not going to find anything in the underground either, because you never find anything with sacred. What about our battle in the Endless Caverns? It's getting cold down here, damn. So I guess Shenega have cold scales, which isn't good, because of our heat aura here. Well, maybe we can see it in action, right? I need you guys down, and maybe before you die... the battle's over too quick to see the heat aura taking any effect. Also, what heat aura? We're not seeing any clouds of steam rising around them. There we go. These units aren't bad, and I have lost battles to Sinophalian hunters before. They also go berserk for even more strength, and what's it? They bite you as well as dagger you, so their attack density is quite good. But even when I land surrounded by them, we still take them out. These units I have are good. They're really good, and they're all the better for fighting underground. And these aren't even them when they're blessed. They don't get much better when blessed. It's just poison resistance and maybe some hit points. But yeah, only one loss there. Also, Wick found a nice little battle trophy for you. You got the Enchanted Spear. Finally, a magical weapon. It's actually worse in terms of output than your longsword. It's longer, but you're not going to be repelling with that attack skill anyway. But a magical weapon's a magical weapon, so keep hold of it. Also, iron deposit. Resources. Nice. What is this? Something happened in the Lightless Cavern. Oh, we were not a moment too soon, it seems. Do you recognize these guys? You should. We saw these on the mercenary recruitment screen not long ago. It seems like Jenega had their hands on these swordsmen and sent them in to try and quell... These are just Zats, right? There's Hannibal 48, the Kamazots. Zots, of course. You'd think the swordsmen would win this engagement, but swordsmen don't have dark vision, so their normally quite alright skills here are severely hampered by the darkness. And the Zots have... well, they're blind. Well, this one's blind. Give me a Zot that isn't blind. No, they're all blind. We've got anyone that isn't blind? No, but they're not affected by darkness, so despite being blind, they're just going to come down and splat. Doesn't matter how well the swordsmen fight right now, I'm pretty sure their commander just died in that attack. Yes, indeed. We can even check here. Fernando got clubbed in the arm, and then once again in the body, and he died. I'm quite confident the swordsman could hold out pretty well here, because these Zots have no protection whatsoever. Just land a hit on them and they die. But with no leadership, they run away, and that is extremely fortunate for me. This could have very easily gone the other way, and that would mean that Jenega will have pushed out and made it very awkward for me to pin them in. But ifs and buts were coconuts. Yeah, look at that. The Zots already want to go, but their blind leadership is still there. So yeah, look at that. The swordsmen are retreating. The Zots have retreated en masse as well. So kind of a mutual retreat. But fortunately, the Death Mage here is still summoning skeletons. I'm sure we've all seen that image. Good luck, I'm behind 50,000 skeletons or so. No Gain does that better than Dominions. This is just one Death Mage cranking out skeletons. When we did our run as... well, I don't remember their name, but we did a run before that was death-focused, and we had thousands of skeletons. Oh, man. Culminated in one particularly juicy skeleton battle. I still go back and watch it every now and then. Point is, Jenega were repelled, and that's so important right now. What's happening in Coronation Street? The eternal whistling of the kettle, no doubt. Oh, it's good to see these guys in action. This was another nation that we could have been playing as. I guess even the return of Henry can't stop you from playing Dominions, huh? No, we cannot. I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in my own time. A lot of people have asked me, will you stream it? The answer is, I don't plan to. Some games I just want to enjoy in my own time, at my own pace. Not to mention, I'm going to be doing things in that game that are definitely going to get me banned if I do them on Twitch. So, I will say no more. Because even talking about it's probably going to be a problem. Anyway, these are the undead Cavern Wights. I was calling them Cyclopses, which is still right. They just have one eye. But they are an interesting counter to me. They have Spirit Sight, so they're not affected by darkness at all. In addition, undead are typically amphibians, so these guys could come from the water as well. My absolute dream is that these guys fight the fish people. That would be such a great turn. These guys wouldn't be affected by the poison of the fish people. Fish people would probably outnumber them. They'd both be even Stevens in the water, so I don't actually know who would win. I haven't checked the priestly powers of the fish people. Point is, I would have a little bit of trouble dealing with these guys. I'd burn them to death, most likely. I'd use my firepower, but they hit really hard. Look at that. They'd smash through the protection of my slaves, no problem, with those big, chunky bronze glaives. But how would they fare against my rank and file with their big shields? Or my back blenders? Attack skill 11. In the darkness, I think I'd be better because I'd be boosted, but that remains to be seen. So how do they perform? Also, what are they doing here? What in the world? They've got Leogryphs around here. Beaking and clawing. Undisciplined. Good attack skill. Good strength. Yeah, I don't think horses are going to stand up to a Leogryph. I'm not very familiar with mystical, fantastical creatures like that. But I know what I'd be running away from. It'd probably be one of these Leogryphs, and it would probably catch me. Size 4, so it's about 1/3 larger than an average human. I dabbled a bit in Dominions 5 years ago, says Gaz Gin. Christ. Let's just call you Gaz. Gaz dabbled a bit in Dominions 5 years ago. They had an epic battle against the Oni guys, had a very narrow victory, and then as I left the simulation, the game told me that according to its calculation, I actually lost. Simulation doesn't mean a thing, kind of ruined the whole game for me. That is a rare bug in Dominions, and it has gotten rarer, so it has been generally fixed across the board, but sometimes in large battles, what you see here is not quite the outcome that the game goes by. But I've only seen that happen twice, and I've played many hundreds of hours of Dominions, and I've never seen it in Dominion 6. But yeah, I know what you mean. That kind of experience can be very burdensome for the motivation. So, perhaps I should worry a little bit about these guys. Wow, they've got a level 2 Priestly, Inquisitor, a Reanimator Priest. I wonder if these guys are going to bring in tons of skeletons. That's a problem for me because I can't preach skeletons away. But I can burn skeletons. The undead are generally resistant to cold and poison, but they're not resistant to fire out the gate, so a bit of heat from hell, a bit of inner furnace could probably melt them all away. The Mines of Despair give me some much-desired glamour gems. The upcoming arena battle is an option, and the Mudwater Cave province has slaughtered a bunch of upstarts. Well, that's Forte for you. She won't abide by that. But yes, the big takeaway here is that the Lightless Cavern is mine for the taking. So I will take it, and this will pin in Janiga right here. Ooh, interesting information. They built a sizable fortress here. Look at that fort. It's really good. It's a proper castle. It's 50% better at administrating than a fortress, 45 up from 30. Commander point 1, other thing 100%. Yeah, so better recruitment bonus, better administration. It's a shame it only is adjacent to 2 provinces, and it's even more of a shame that it's not on any of these gateways. But that's going to be Wick's job to destroy it. And that extra turn does give Biotic God Volus the opportunity to move into Mudwater Caves. I wonder if I'd be fine moving out. Asphodel's got quite the army here. I really want Gold Crags, but I also don't want to risk anything here. I'm not going to risk it, though. I have the money, right. I could build up infrastructure. I could work towards that that nature mage. I really do want that nature mage. You're gonna site search. You can't get there in time, huh? Alright, here's how it's gonna go. Frozen Kaiser's gonna come down here and build a workshop. Ah, man, we're losing Dominion here. This is pretty bad. Quantum Golf has no temple, but I think all my temples have to be underground. They're just way too open here. They could be attacked from anywhere and get utterly crushed, so no temples up here, all temples down below. Except Socotra. Really, really want this Woodhenge Druid. The ability to just go and scout for nature is too important. I need those nature gems, and I don't want my god wasting their time wandering around for site searching. My god should be there for big battles. Might still be a good use for the god, though. Those big battles aren't going to be happening all that often, I'm sure. Alright, here's how it's going to go down. I want 2 more cardinals, please. Don't repeat the recruitment, just make them. And then get one down and build up Socotra. In the meantime, continue expanding my infrastructure. That means Wolfstaz. I want you to build a temple. The temple's already built by Karl Marx over in Letho. Over in the Hidden Realm, rather. Move over to Letho. Vapula and Gratis. There's a well-organized province defense here. They'll probably smell you out quite soon. That does tell me that Asphodel holds over Gratis, so Asphodel might be coming out down through Umbor. I'd love a bit more information. Could I get another couple Bakemono shows to scout around then, please? Is Danduin taken? I probably would have already had a scout on here. Yeah, this must be the Throne of Ice. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, knowing what we know, stay in England. At least then you won't be scouted out because it's still independent. Bob, you hold Shikoku. Toad, Raider. There's a good amount of army here. Socotra remains my more trepidatious province here. Might as well get the reinforcements deployed while the going is good, so please bring all of these units down to Socotra. want to keep it extra protected because that's where I'm going to be building up a little bit right now. Hey, and Darius, you are, on top of everything else, a priest. You've also got triple glamour. Triple glamour. Is glamour really what I'm looking for? Kind of not really. Yeah, no blood either. Oh well, be that as it may, Andarius, you are going underground. You're going to... Wait, you're stealthy? Whoa, didn't notice that. The father of the numinous prophecies is actually stealthy. Interesting. Very interesting. Also, you still didn't find anything here. Go and check out... What did I say? Moon Lake? Go and do the Deimos anomaly, please. Continue the preaching. Continue the preaching. You preaching here is a bit of a waste of time. It's slightly better if there's a temple here. But the money, the cost, my treasury cannot handle such expenses. It's going to anyway. Build me a temple. Hey, there should be a big patch from NationGen coming out soon that fixes mounts and adds barding chances to pretty much every mounted unit. Nice. It's the glamour that gives the stealth, not the... Ooh. I truly didn't know that. Of course, my information is outdated from Dominions 5 before there was glamour. So that must be a Glamour 3 edition, because unlocks like that are usually based on... Wait, no, you've got stealthy. Let's investigate further. Here's the guy. Yeah, he is. He's stealthy out the gate. Maybe that's because he is a Glamour mage. Would make sense. That's what they do. Point is, Andarius is going to Netherlands. He'll site search Netherlands and then move underground. So that we can do some site searching underground. Pilius, preach for now. You will in time build a temple everywhere here, really. This is fine. Of course, I'm out of money, but when am I not? Yeah, these guys get together. I'll have gold crags once we have a palisade here. And then we clean all this and move into position to fight Janiga. Janiga did instantly pop the units of Asphodel. Now, I doubt these guys were hiding inside that fort, so what do we think happened here? Is he already in Celadon City? I wish I had a spy here to figure that out. It's very hard to spy on the AI at this point because they love to spend a lot on province defense. I swear they know where your spies are at all times. Okay, we can keep moving forward like this. This NationGen is amazing, though. I wasn't actually interested in playing Dominion 6 at all until the NationGen was updated, because I just love the random nations so much. We didn't join the arena, but I was quite certain we wouldn't win if we did. We will have a look at how it went, though. We haven't found a single holy site. Come on. Right, Lightless Cavern, onwards and upwards. Still slaughtering independents. There haven't been a lot of... oh, wow, these... Oh, of course, they got softened up earlier, didn't they? Not a problem for us. Not a lot of big fights against other AIs yet, but it's coming. Okay, this is why I always place spies in throne provinces wherever applicable. The AI will eventually get curious and want to tickle them, and that allows me to see what exactly is there and what exactly the AI has to throw against it. It also means when the AI loses, and they will against a throne province like this, it'll give me a good gauge on the resources that the AI are expending with no real gain. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at animists and just bog standard commanders. Yop is real. Sarcophagus, I remember that guy. Maharaja Nikki. Got Jason Myers, the animist, as well as Hat Kid, the animist, loaded up with nature gems. Will they swarm? Will they poison? I don't know, but they've got an entire army of boars as well. So it's not that they have any particularly fancy units here, they've just got a lot of them. Of course, they have Vine Men too. Not very well skilled, these guys, but what they lack in skill, they make up for the fact that they will never retreat. Vine Men will only retreat if they don't have magical leadership, and even then they don't retreat, they just dissolve. And what's been brought in here? What exactly are you playing at here? You've decided to bring in Vine Men of your own. Ooh, Zorak is here. Zorak's the Locust. Who's the Mantis, then? Shorty Thurman, the Dreamwood Enchanter. Ooh, Nature Glamour Mage. Anyway, they don't stand a hope in hell here, but I'm more curious about what they're doing. Well, we're going to have Skewered Mantis, because those are some crossbows that I overlooked. Yeah, there we go. Crossbowmen at the back. And the giant manti. They got the mantis claws. Not terrible. Good attack skill, so they're going to hit. 14 piercing damage. So they will kill some vine men, but they're absolutely going to get mobbed. They'd need to bring 10 times the forces they brought to stand a chance here. Giant mantis is genuinely terrifying. This mantis is only about 2/3 the size of the average human. So it's going to be about 8 or 9 foot tall. Maybe that is terrifying. But the inverse square law means that they are... Is it inverse square or inverse cube? Anyway, the law says they will not be able to support their body on those spindly little legs at that size, so I don't think you have much to worry about. Unlike Shorty Thurmond here, they've got a lot of things to worry about. The incoming crossbow bolts, the incoming army of boars. Who's faster, man or boar? Boar is 40% faster, so go, Shorty, go! That, I think, is a bit more terrifying than giant mantises. An entire herd of boars chasing after you as you limp away. Shorty Thurmond has not been injured. They got a little chilled by frost clouds. Isn't that their own frost cloud? No. I wonder what in the world caused a frost cloud around them. Is that 30 to 50 feral hogs? We'll get a number on that as soon as Shorty Thurmond... Whoa! Shorty ran away to safety just before he became hog chow. So that was over in Obama. There were 155 boars. Now there are 146 of them. Total slaughter for Pislarna, which is good. Pislarna are at war with me, so every time I see something like this, I know that they threw away resources. They would have spent nature gems summoning these killer mantises. Why don't we find out how they got killer mantises? Because we have the power with the Dom 6 Mod Inspector tool. And unlike last time, I actually did load it up with a mod setting, so it will tell me things specifically specific to my nation. But we want to know about the Killer Mantis. Killer Mantis is conjured up with Summon Killer Manti. You get 10 of them plus half your level for 5 nature gems. This ritual summons a bunch of giant Killer Mantis. The beasts are as large as fully grown moose. They're well equipped with their amazing speed and sharp claws. They're very stupid. They need a mage in order to control them. Very funny. Thank you, Dom 6 Inspector Tool. I now know everything I needed to know. And away you go. Keep that around if I need some information that's otherwise quite difficult to dig up in the game. Is that a Canadian moose or a European moose? It's a European swallow. Right, Yellow Caves gave me a single fire gem. The tax went down in the Lightless Cavern, but Lightless Cavern's not a very high tax place anyway, so that doesn't matter. So this is excellent. We have them pinned in. Not only that, but it's not quite so cold here anymore. It's still bollocking cold, but not as cold. Kalaw, I want you to check out... Oh, dear lord, it never ends, does it? This cavern just keeps showing new and new areas. So Crystal Field connects to the Deep Gorge Cavern, which goes over to Spiral Mountain. So Banjo and or Kazooie might come out of here. That is a consideration. That also needs to be plugged. It doesn't specifically have to be Deep Gorge Cavern that I plug. I could plug Crystal Fields. Better positioned fort there in a lot of ways, but don't worry about it. Wick, get down there and clear it out. Kalaw, I want you to pop your snout out and see what's going on over there. I still want to know more about this. That's why Yusuke is going to hang around in Umbor to see what's happening. I have complete confidence that Wick and Wick's army is going to clear this out with minimal problems. Although, what do we have here? We've got about 50 pistachios and ganas. We've got undead primates hanging around in Underhome. Well, nobody said it would be easy. Let's make sure we have some crappy province defense around here. And Emperor Karl. We actually have money. That's unusual. Gonna use some of that money. Of course, we keep searching and finding nothing. It's like I'm playing Urban Dead. Did we truly search and find nothing? Yep, Princess Zelda the Circle Master, amazingly good with death and blood, still found nothing. Oh, hang on, we got other stuff going on. We're not quite done here. There was the arena battle. What were our foes bringing in here? Yu Yu Hakusho. Load it up with gems and throw it into the arena. An Avim. And you're fighting what exactly? You're fighting a freaking boar! King Dedede, the great boar of Karmute. A magnificent holy beast. Okay, well, who's going to win, man or beast? You are a trampler. But this thing ain't too small itself. Size 4 versus size 8? Oh, wow. Squishy, squishy. How did you get that boar? Okay, well, you've already crushed Yu Yu. Yu Yu got trampled for 12 and is about to be trampled to death. Oh, but Yu Yu transforms! Yu Yu transforms into a Frost Fiend upon death. Frost Fiends are pretty damn powerful, but that's not going to save you, because you're still about to go squish. Squish. You're all boar food. Alright, well that solidly knocks Anakim out of the running. Concerning that Pislarna has access to giant boars. I wouldn't like to deal with those very much. Trampling would run amok inside my formations pretty badly. And despite my sacreds being larger, they're not large enough to handle a size 8 trampler. Ooh, terrifying. Who knew King Dedede had it in him? There is no greater joy than the suffering of others, so says Dedede. Right, well, we have fairly standard lizard shaman. I'd love access to these guys, nature and astral, but we haven't found any natural lizard provinces. Fighting against Sarcophagus the War Mage. Who's deciding to use Bonds of Fire, instantly poisoned, earth melding the opponent. They're just going along and casting. I think this battle would already be over if Sarcophagus just went and skewered the lizard on his long spear. But as it stands, he can't handle it. He has to run away. And if you flee in a one-on-one battle like this, you dead. No, we just saw that, but yes. Farguard. Farguard are down and out. Not unexpected. Yeah, I don't want to go to the tool for every little question we have to see space. There should be some mystery. Right, Dedede is back. Having slain man, he wants to slay man beast, because Darthair the Centaur Hierophant is here. Straight out the bat, Death Mage with Inspirational. Ooh, I like the look of this guy. Size 5, good hit points, great defense skill, long range and short range. Stealthy as well. That's good, but is it good enough to stand up to a very angry boar? Squish. 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 Are you evading this? Yeah. You're doing a great job at evading the squishing, actually. The boar might be in trouble. When you evade, you always take at least 1 damage, but it just takes 1 bit of actual trampling, and this centaur is yet gone. You got squished for 26 damage, and away they go. Let's come over to the semi-finals then. Unsurprisingly, there's Dedede, but Dedede's running low on steam, down to 26 hit points, whereas you're dealing with Ivor, the Master Composer. Can you handle the undead? This one is big, lots of hit points, very hard to squish this one. I think it's going to be Ivor's time to shine. After all, the boar only has 1 trick in its arsenal, and the trick is run them over, whereas the Cavern Wight has many tricks at his disposal. Got Holy Magic. What have you got here? You got Withering Weapons. That'd be very funny. How old can this thing get? Oh, yeah, you could actually age the boar to death. I doubt you will, though. I think you're just going to clobber it and kill it. Yeah, well, there we go. Pislarna's magic boar is down and out, leaving Ivor in the finals here. Janiga and Abstang. God, who do I even want to win here? Also, how did you come out on top? Oh, that's cheeky. So Janiga brought in a Mind Blaster for the tournament, meaning they could just... Mind Blasters work amazingly on a one-on-one. Mind Blast isn't very good against a huge army because you can only target 1 enemy, but on a one-on-one, you have a 100% accurate attack that paralyzes the foe and does mental damage to them. The only way the foe can win is if the foe has enough magic resistance, which Ivor does. They keep themselves blessed, and we'll see how Ivor can do this. It's all in the rolls, of course. Well, you're not even going for that. You're actually using your astral magic to solar ray them rather than mind blast them. And that could be useful. Yeah. Damage roll, protection. You've already injured them, but they have a lot of health. Not only that, they are... Ivor has unequaled obesity, giving him yet more hit points, and he's closing the distance. Oh, you really should have mind blasted to paralyze this guy. It's not looking good. However... I was going to say, however, they have body ethereal, but they mustn't have researched that. You're not ethereal. You're blunt resistant, and he is using a blunt scepter, but trust me when I say that's not going to be enough. Squish. 7 damage to break his leg. We now have Dicey the Limp Initiate. And I think we're about to see Dicey the Dead Initiate. Well, Dicey the Withering Initiate. Fortunately for him, the Zoidberg creatures have very high max health, but might not be high enough because you're very dead. Good job, Ivor. I wouldn't have beaten you, but hey-ho. You get the Champion's Cuirass, some gold, and fire gems. Now, I wouldn't have minded that prize, but I would not have beaten Ivor with my units. In addition to that, Luminarius Aether was discovered in Coronation Street. And yeah, you're just getting murked by not even Province Defense. There's actually an army here. My dreams of keeping my eye on Province Defense, on Coronation Street are deader than dead. That's what I get for scouting around the enemy's capital, but the AI loves to do Province Defense. Yeah, so down you go. Quite the happening times these days, but I've got Dijon the Hero at my fort here. A virtuous landholder wants to fight for my cause. He discovered a holy man that told him many secret things. He was particularly stealthy and is protected from frost and electricity. He's a master of shape-shifting. He can take the form of a... Oh my god, look at this! 4 fire, 3 air. Old as balls. Good lord, he's more than double his supposed max age. Okay, you are troublesome for me. I can't make good use of you before you're going to die, I'm quite certain. The best thing I could have you do is go and sight search with those awesome magical paths. 4 fire, 3 wind is already worth going around and checking for. Yeah, there's no point saving this guy for later. Because of old age, unless I get Gift of Health up before he starts triggering disease, he's going to die. You can prevent the death by giving him something like an Amulet of Regeneration, but that's a nature path, and we still don't have nature access. I'm working on it, but for now we don't. Frozen Kaiser, you search for now. I'm going to bring in Alaska to you. I want Don Paolo out as well. I'll probably send you over to Moon Lake just to preach. The whole idea here is just preach my dominion to stop it crumbling. And Darius, please sight search before you go underground. Ryu and the Wolf. Stop finding nothing for once, please. Shark killing coconut, just keep on preaching. Is there still Blood Feast for clearing disease? Yes, but I'd have to do quite a bit of research for that, wouldn't I? Blood Burst, Blood Heal. Blood Heal's something done in combat, though. Blood Feast is only Blood 3, but it's also it's Blood 3 research, but it's Blood 2 magic requirement, and we only have Blood 1. Also, I'm not really sure this is worth it for 1 fire guy. I really don't think so. I'm working my way towards Enchantment 7 for Gift of Health, and then Alteration 5 for Darkness on tap. And once I have that, probably more Conjuration so I can get bigger fire spells down. Now, we might get through this without really needing to rely on any big battle spells, but we always want to have it in our arsenal. Did I go all the way to Deep Gorge? I think I do. I want to make sure that I hold the underground. So you're going to go Crystal and then Deep Gorge. Then you're going to come back. But what about Underhome? Well, this is interesting. We now know about Pilot Wings Resort. What's even more interesting is I can sail to these provinces. I could sail to Hangzhou. It's not worth it, of course. The fish people can pop out of the water and take these back. Fascinating information to have, though. Underhome is a crystal cave. Low income, but good resources. Money. Money is king right now. Right, Forte, Biotic God. We need to exchange units right now, so Forte has the everything. Still 2 more turns. There's Palisade. Still a scary amount of these guys here, so I do want Biotic God Volus in this fight. Continue patrolling. Actually, no, Biotic God, you should be preaching. Forte should be patrolling. Also, Forte, give that Pendant of Luck over to the Biotic God. You are my prophet, and I don't want you just dying to a random lucky shot. Luck makes it so if you get struck by something that will kill you, there's a 75% chance you will survive. So it's not going to stop you getting your legs broken and your arms hacked off, but that final fatal blow is very hard to land, at least for your foes. Let's continue the temple construction. Let's continue the site searching. Don't need to preach up here, which is rather nice, but I'm always looking for more places to expand my infrastructure. Useless Kamari Ronso, don't build that up yet. I need to focus on my strategically important areas. Pewter City is there, Fargar is there. Alright, you just wait in Ingerland for now. That doesn't give us anything we don't already know here, so Liu Bei, go up to Thornton Hall, please. Princess Zelda searched, please go to Shikoku. Kaiser is searching here for fire. I want a bit more fire searching done. I'm actually going to send Monsoon out here, because research is hardly... It's not going well for us anyway, so bleh to that. There's a castle here with an organized province defense, but the cave does not spill further in these directions, so go to somewhere that has the best overview of the location. That looks like Umbra to me, but there's a lot to be said for chilled caverns. Go to the Chillad Caverns, please. Tomb Raider, Landstalker. Tomb Raider, you're really just here to exchange the units, because you're not a very good fighter yourself. Poor Toad Raider. They've got dementia and battle fright, so they're constantly confused and seeing things that horrify them. It's a real shame because they have heroic magic resistance, which is completely undone by their dementia. Anyway, go back. Your whole job is just to move units from the capital, and that is what I expect you to do. Alright. I know it's quite low tempo right now, but we are busy casting the noose around Janiga. We'll have to pull on the rope sooner or later. But the time is not yet ripe. Continuing recruiting as many units as I can out of Yellow Caves. Remember, I can't really use my Slave Swordsmen underground. They're not skilled in the darkness like my Abyssian units are. A lot of battles going on. Wow, finally! Magical sites! 2 enchanted tombs. Our death gem income goes from 0 to 2, an infinite return on value. In addition to that, Frozen Kaiser has found me the Smoldering Maze. Fire ritual range goes up, fire gem income at long last. Searched and found nothing, searched and found nothing, and searched and found nothing. Well, at least it's something. Good thing we were plonked down in England, because we can see that Janiga is actually expanding here. What the hell are you? You're a... I see this thing and I think it must be a god, but no, that's a Kotal summon right there. Feathery Winged Serpent, loaded up with gems, amazing paths right there with Astral Nature, good combination. It's sacred, it's priestly, it's powerful, and it's definitely going to have its filthy way with these guys. Yeah, I mean, the lizard men aren't that strong, kind of. They actually hit pretty hard, but they don't have good skills or protection. That doesn't mean much for these horses, though. The horses are going to get ripped apart. Trident plus bite is a powerful combination. All the while, we've got a swarm coming out from the lizard. Well, the commanding lizard. It's been good target practice for the longbowmen, but I'm sorry the longbowmen are about to die. They're even getting nibbled by the insects. And the insects, they know maximum 1 damage of poison. But swarms are what you want for assassinations, not big battles for this. It's a scary sight to see. You got dozens of lizards, tridents approaching you. Great attack density out of these things. These guys, if you get them with scale mail armor, are amazing units. Because the armor suddenly makes them actually last in combat, all the while they pump out this pretty good damage. I like them. I like them a lot. Part of the reason I love playing is middle-aged Cetus. So yes, good to know that lizard warriors are going to be coming out of Janiga. How do I deal with lizard warriors? I don't think they're going to stand up to my core very well. Their attack skill's not good enough, and their damage output. The Trident damage output is pretty good, but I still think our tower shields and our protection will be more than enough to have skewered lizards for dinner, so good information to have. So I don't need to worry too much about what Janega have to offer. But was that actually their units? Something doesn't add up here. Where did they get them from? You don't summon lizards. This is where the Feathered Serpent is a mercenary force that they've recruited. They also recruited the Lost Legion. Okay, so they obviously bought those units knowing that that would be an easy way to expand into this area, which is just wide open for them. There's no good reason that Janega can't just stomp over here and take Fargard for themselves, except for a reason called Asphodel. If my understanding is correct, the AI goes very hostile towards Pop-Kill Dominion. So if Asphodel Dominion touches into Janega or Anakim, it will likely trigger war, and it's very interesting to me that the AIs fight amongst themselves and not with me. We could use diplomacy, we could arrange non-aggression pacts, but I have decided to stop doing that because diplomacy is too powerful. Imagine if I got a non-aggression pact with Asphodel and Anakim. I would know I wouldn't be attacked around here, or if I did, I'd get 3 turns advance notice. I would have already killed Pislarna. Or, well, I guess I would have chased them into the water. Because I would know that I can direct 100% of my force in this direction and not have to worry about holding here. Otherwise, I push in this direction. Oops, I got nothing defended me here. Asphodel comes in, tears down my fort, secures my cap circle. Too dangerous. Diplomacy, too strong. Anyway, I actually have money, so this is quite important. Construct a laboratory, construct a temple. Next turn, I'll be able to start recruiting the Woodhenge Druids. They won't come cheap, but their upkeep is alright, and once they're done searching, they're going to be respectable little research slaves. They're actually going to be better than the normal research guys I have in terms of research to cost, thanks to Sacred. Sacred tags, half unit cost to maintain, so if he wasn't Sacred, he'd actually be 144 gold per year. But he ain't. If my uncle had a something, he'd be my auntie and all that. Liu Bei, you've done a masterful retreat over to Thornton Hall. Please wait there and tell me what's happening. Toad Raider, you move units around when necessary, and now is not necessary. And Darius, you search and find nothing in the underground. Dejan, I want you to search. I don't think I need Jif Booyah preaching here anymore. I want to find somewhere that we're a little weaker on the Dominion and preach there. Moon Lake is an idea. Because you really don't do anything like this, do you? I would say it's very important to keep all this away. The Dominion of Asphodel is terrifying. I think I'll do exactly that. Jif Booyah, get down to Socotra. That way, if there is a battle, you're more useful because you can banish Asphodelian units. And keeping that horrible pop-kill Dominion out of my lands is important. Not that the 2,000 people living here are that important to me. The output of Shikoku is less than 1/10 of the output. It's one very small percentage of the output of just the Cavern realm here. But that's not the point. If I reduce my pop here, I also reduce my supplies, and I need those supplies to keep my troops alive. Ozzy Food 20 comes in saying, Jake, I'm clearly a crazy person. I watched your entire space, Hansa. I just wanted to acknowledge you. Oh, I'm very happy. I love the game of Orion, and knowing that I can spread the joy of the game brings me additional joy. So you're more than welcome, and thanks for letting me know. It's fine for people to enjoy in silence, but it's a great motivation for me to hear that people actually like what I do. Right, Spiral Mountain. We don't know what's going on out there. We're about to find out, but we could maybe make an educated guess. It is only 2 provinces away from Pislarna. That means if Pislarna do fight here, that's not a big deal because I'm already at war with them, but it's also a big deal because Pislarna are more likely to come down here and pick a fight with me. So the best thing I could find out is something like Asphodel is already fighting them here. Well, either way we'll get information, and either way it will be a priority to plug the hole in the Deep Gorge Cavern. But every turn that goes, our income is increasing, making us more and more able to financially support our everything. Wow! Well, sometimes life is just good to you. It seems the Hot Hollow has had a bit of a problem here. An independent army of knights and militia burst out of nowhere, killed the province defense, and are now besieging the fort. That is going to slow down Janiga's operations for a bit. They're going to come and lift this, and by the time they do that, I should be in a position to use Forte and Forte's army to move in and start taking Hot Hollows. In addition to that, I'm going to want my reinforcements brought over here. 30, 40, 50. Shouldn't be too hard to bring in additionals. I'm going to make one sergeant here for now. The sergeant will pick up the units. Sergeant has the capacity to pick up 100 units and bring them down as reinforcements. Now, I am in love with these units. Even though they've not been very high impact so far, these fire followers are so much better than they look. They defend really well, and they attack really well. Siege bonus 3. A normal individual soldier, a militia or a light infantryman, will deal 1 bit of siege damage. These guys deal 4.7. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's just delectable. I wonder how that compares to my sacreds, actually. Flyers are also quite good at tearing down walls. My flyers do 8.8. Wow. Yeah, I reckon we can absolutely tear through this area. I'm a little worried about Forte's lack of backline blenders, though. I would love to bring more Hellbent guards. 9 isn't enough. 9 is just going to... Well, to be frank, 9 is going to die. Another couple turns of this, I'm going to send Witterich down with additional Hellbent guards. Where are you going to go via? Yeah, go down via Shikoku, and then bring them 1, 2, 3, 4 over to here. That'll take a bit of time, but I think it'll well be worth it, especially if they can be additionally blessed by Biotic God Volus. That way, if somehow they bring poison into the mix, I don't know why they would, but if they did, we could get our Bless online. Bless also improves morale. I want you down in... Wait, why have I not positioned a spy in Undermountain? Mos Moriz, your job, and it's a good job for a scout, is to sit on Undermountain and just report to me whenever anything happens. Simple job, I'm sure you can manage it. I also want to temple up in Ulm. A little risky there, but I really want to improve my infrastructure. Site searching, site searching. You know what, Godzilla? I'm going to do auto site searching because I never use it. I don't trust it, but you're not strategically very important to me, so go and do that for me. Is best girl the prophet? If Biotic God Volus is your best girl, she certainly is the prophet. Alright, good to know that Janiga's pinned in here. Bakemona Shows here. Right, I could get another stealthy scout right here. I will take one of them and I'll pop them out into Spiral Mountain just to get some idea what's happening around Pislarna's capital. From what we can see, Pislarna extends from Albania all the way to San Francisco, and that's just what we know. So there's no indication that they're being pressed anywhere. Actually, Pislarna... Jeez, they've got a lot going on for them. So Pislarna seem to have this area uncontested. In addition, they can just take the waters at their leisure. And if we look over at the income, I have a funny feeling they're going to be topping the charts. Yeah, look at that. Pislarna are so high up. And even Atzvang are beating me. I thought my income would be competitive given how much of the underground I have, but Pislarna are out. They are up there. Yeah, I really miss Helden Darthair. But hey, eventually that new Mass Effect game will come out. I hope he streams it. Really miss Helden's streams. Alright, let's continue on. I don't know how long I'll be playing today. This is a late start. I dedicate this late start to the bureaucracy of Hungary. I have a package coming in from Scotland, and I gotta say it's been a nightmare trying to deal with customs. They were asking me for a lot of information that I don't have, because this package was sent to me, and they wanted all the information about me buying the package. No, this is being sent. My mother is sending me this package. Okay. Please send screenshot of payment details for package. I didn't pay for this package. Okay, but please send screenshot. Alright, Zelda finds nothing, but our hero also finds nothing. There's a lot of nothing we're finding out here. Every turn that we search and find nothing is a turn we waste a mage. Mages are important. There's a term in this game called mage turn. You don't want to waste those. There's also another good saying. Your units are there to protect your mages, and your mages are there to protect your units. These guys are strong, and there's quite a lot of them to kill, but rest assured we will kill them. This guy right here is in a difficult situation because he throws himself down and he can be attacked by a lot of shots. But look at that, he repels the bite. Repel is so cool. And then he gets hit by a bite, but it doesn't hurt him through his armor. What he did do was he ate a javelin in the arm for 9 damage. So repel is, if you have a weapon that is longer than the weapon you're being attacked with, you have a chance, which is your attack skill versus their defense skill, to repel it. In this case, one of these guys used their bite, which is a length 0 weapon, and it got repelled by the axe, which is a length 1 weapon. Means that the attacker didn't take damage. The attacker didn't land the hit, so the defender took no damage. But the attacker takes 1 point of repel damage, although I don't know which one got repelled. There are too many of them. You can't repel forever, though. Every time you repel, you get harassed, and that makes you less likely to be able to continue to repel. This guy's taking a hell of a beating there. Sure, he'll be fine. And you see all the smoke rising. That is the hellish heat aura coming off of my beloved devils. They're not actually demons, though. They're just winged Abyssians. Demon is a particular type of unit, and it's actually usually bad to have demon tag because there are a lot of anti-demon counters in the game. Especially late game, you can double damage against demons just at the drop of a hat. Scary stuff. So again, we lost 1 guard, but to secure this, certainly worth it. What's happening over in the Shivering Isles, though? Yeah, Mum, right? I have a receipt for 1 pence and a screenshot. I would not want to... I just don't want any trouble with this package. It is hopefully the last thing I ever need from the UK. It's actually my last belonging that I still have in the UK. And once I have it, hopefully I never need anything from the UK again. Oh boy. That brave wolf made it all the way back and almost killed Longcat, the Crystal Priestess. They might be lucky. Well, they were lucky, that's the thing. A wolf biting you in the body to the point where you're almost dead. That's kind of hard to imagine, but I'm sure it happens. And then what else do we have coming in here? What are these? Sea dogs? Oh, it's our Habsburg friend, the Ugambuzits. They continue to throw exotic creatures in as fights, but they're just not good enough. They're even getting mind hacked. See that little blue pillar right there? That's mind burning, a lower version of absolute soul slaying. Just someone thinks you to death. Dominions has it all, man. I think the way that Slavs feel about Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is the way I feel about Dominions. Ah, man, when even little light infantry and militia are slaughtering your troops, you need to rethink your strategy. Right, the Netherlands have given me some nature gems, and Adair Caverns have given me 14 death gems! If I could articulate how huge that is, especially early in the game, holy moly, that's great. You often see me sitting on gems for a long time and I end up with hundreds of them and I don't use them. But the point isn't to use them, the point is that they're there so that I can spend them on emergencies or if it severely enhances my position. Currently, I don't think they would, or at least I don't have the game knowledge to know how they would. Part of the problem is my low research. We got discovered in England? Didn't they just move into England? I wonder how they discovered me. Maybe they did move and patrol? No, that doesn't make sense either. Point is, our spy in England is dead. Liu Bei continues to hang around Thornton Hall, but Liu Bei will still tell us who, if anybody, takes Fargard. Then again, Moot would do that anyway. Get down to New Liverpool, please. Right, Mudwater Caves construction is complete. Forte is free to move out. Forte is going to secure the Gold Crags. Biotic God Volus, preaching was amazing. At level 3 priesthood, you are great at preaching, and now Mudwater is full of our friendly dominion, making it roasting hot. We like the heat. At least we fight well in the heat. You could return back for more units, but I think I'd rather still just have you maintain the preaching for now. Forte will arrive in Gold Crags and destroy this. Yeah, definitely hold before you attack. I want my reinforcements down here soon. War is coming soon. What about Deep Gorge Cavern? Kalod, do you even want to sneak out here? There's Pislarna. Barbarians, Master Spearmen. I don't know. I think building up a fortification on Deep Gorge at this time is not what I want to do. I think I'd rather invest in some province defense. Province defense is expensive, though. Still think that's better than sending someone to build a fortification. They may attack me here, they may not. The point is, if they do, they have to come via Crystal Fields. And I'm in a much better position to push them back from there than having them, say, land in Silverworld and go anywhere. So, Wick, your job is to clear Underhome. Then Cavern Gold, Deep Wagger, and then we attack. During that time, Forte will clear the Gold Crags. You'll get into position in Stalagmia. In Jifbuya will bring in reinforcements from the Yellow Caves. Currently I have Forte. A few turns will have considerably more. And additional units are brought in right now from Witterech. No point in not just bringing them all. My concern is starvation. It's cold, that means there are fewer resources for us to get. There's also misfortune there, which is quite funny. It's a cave forest, though. Cave forests have good supplies, question mark? I don't know the population of this province. The warpath could be a little dangerous. But I don't have any way that I can think of creating portable rations for my people. I can, however, start getting Woodhenge Druids. Really want those. So thank you, Alaska and Frozen Kaiser. Alaska, Jifbuya, you stay there and preach. Frozen Kaiser, you did good. I know you don't hear me say that often, because you don't do it often, but you did good. I'm going to need someone underground so that we can start building laboratories down there. So it makes sense to vanquish Frozen Kaiser to the underground. If you go to the Cavern Realm... Is that my fastest way of getting to the Yellow Caves? No, I think it's better that you go via Socotra. And in that case, Monsoon should probably go there. Yeah, Monsoon, you go to Yellow Caves, please. So Monsoon, down here. Well done, Frozen Kaiser. You get to survive in the capital that bit longer. Tick-tock clock, shall we search for any magical sites? We will get the A-Press challenge done there before you know it. And meanwhile, Dejan, continue with the searching, please. Princess Beatrix. I want... Wow, quite well organized defenses over in Chillad Caverns, but they haven't taken the Nether Mines? Interesting. You keep your eyes on the Nether Mines. Princess Beatrix will keep her eye on the Gilad Caverns. Wick, but not John. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns you'll go into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. 7 turns we should be able to declare war upon... Janiga. Emperor. I do have the money for a temple, and I will make a temple. More temples, more better. Feels a shame not to mobilize these units for war, but I must maintain defenses. I could make even more Hellbent guards. They are better than Fire Followers, so it's very hard to deny that. Just keep cranking out the Sacreds on the capital. I might even stop making Fire Followers. Because look at that, I can't really afford to make any more. Don't have the recruitment points. Well, every little helps, so I'll continue to make some. Yeah, that's okay. Don Gero feels very sad at not having anything to do right now. I will build a fortress. This connects with enough provinces of enough value that I want the extra administration. What I'd really like are these provinces off of Adsang, but we're not at war with Adsang, and there's no point to make a bigger war than we have to. Okay. And Darius, why are you just hiding here? We want you to automatically site search the region, please. Princess Zelda searched and find nothing in Shikoku, so please check out Luxan. If Princess Zelda somehow magically dies, that's not a problem for me. Because she's twice born, she'll appear back in the capital unscathed. Yeah, we have not yet researched the hot pot recipe. One of the things I beelined was researching large-sized fire elementals, because if I was pushed, I'd be able to mobilize my fire mage army and deploy enough fire elementals to kill almost anything. The problem is we have fire-resistant enemies to the north, but fire resist is not fire immune, so I think the fire elementals would still destroy them. Oh my. Lu Bu, Princess of Many Names, the great son of life, Queen of the Blessed Lands, has provoked the Mother Oak. I want the Mother Oak. Damn, where do they get all that nature gems income from? Well, that is concerning. What is less concerning is this, though. We found the Gorge of Echoes. Huzzah. A single glamour gem. Okay. Every month, at least. Search and find nothing. Search and find nothing. Search and find nothing. Oh, he's here, though. Ishmael, our god, has finally escaped Titarius. And once again walks among the faithful. We chose Ishmael from the chat to be our colossal fetish. A huge wooden statue that has come to life after being worshipped for hundreds of years. What's with the name Ishmael, though? Why do I feel like traitorous Jews come to my head when I think of that name? They one of the ones that killed... Maybe that's just befitting for having as my pretender here. Ishmael, you're too big. You barely fit on the unit selection screen here. Do I site search with you, though? You're my only Earth access right now. And you are a monstrous amount of Earth, nature access, rather. I might go and search Socotra, Luxan, and Shikoku with you. It's very nice to have a giant pretender like this that can also move. Very often when you get one of these statue gods, they're immobile. But this guy is mobile, so he's getting in there. So you're going to go down and search some more. Frozen Kaiser is back to do researching on our capital. Income is almost good enough that I'm going to start cranking out our level 2 fire mages on the capital. Wait, why do them when I could do Fathers of Nunimus Prophecy? I'm going to do them instead. They're a bit more expensive on the everything to make, and they eat up a holy point, but maybe that's good. Yeah, there's a reason to believe that that's actually good. Every other turn, at least, they use up a holy point. Maybe it's good to have it set up like that. Yeah, I can get behind that. I'm wasting a lot of resources. I could do more in the resources if I crammed out my slaves here. In fact, what if we had these guys instead of the fire followers? These guys are so cheap. They still hit pretty hard. It's difficult. The recruitment point cost of my Hellbent Guards is just so high, but they're so important. I think in the end I can't deny the fact that I need both. Let's do it like that then. Anyway, point is I want to keep my research rolling along, and if I get these glamour mages and I get the construction for it, I'll be able to make glamour boosters, which I sorely need because when it comes to research, I am by a long way the weakest nation in research and always have been, because we don't have the economy for making mages and our mages are not very good at researching. And we don't have any magic within our dominion, so that doesn't boost research for us. It's all against us on the research front. That might mean don't do alteration for darkness. Instead, do construction to get our hands on, and this is where the Dom 5 Modern Spectre tool comes in. I want the glamour miscellaneous item, the Dreamstone. The Dreamstone boosts magic by boosts research by 9, and it in quotation marks only costs 5 glamour gems. I can lower that to I think 3 by using a dwarven hammer, which my god can create, so I probably will. So I'm going to crank these out and use them to boost my research. Sadly, only glamour mages can use the Dreamstone, but that's why I'm starting to crank them out of my capital now, so that I have the glamour mages to boost. And I think with that, they are pounds per square inch going to be better researchers than my cheap 2-level fire mages. There are downsides, of course. For one, these guys are old. They come out straight from the gate, already with arthritis and missing ligaments and whatnot. Poor guys. But hey, they're sacred. That's got to be an advantage. Do we search Moon Lake? It's an important... it's a dangerous place to go, but we go there anyway. I need to site search as much as I can. Dijon, keep on searching for me. Forte, you took the gold crags, as I knew you would. Please get into position in Stalmage, unless I feel like recruiting more units here, which I do and I don't. I already have units here, and I don't really have the money for this. But more units are, as they say, more units. Lets me pop down the 40s here. At the very least, I could grab a few more right now for 40 to pick up. 40 has a very high maximum amount of units that she can lord over. I don't see a good reason not to grab them. So yeah, we're moving into Mudwater Caves and we're going to grab those units as well. Will I want them as reinforcements, though? Donjero has pathetic leadership and can't really move around any... But I will repeat the recruitment on you. Mudwater Caves is in a good enough place to grab... good amount of resources around here. The things stopping me right now are... recruitment points and resources. Funny that. Point is, I'm taking those units. Sudazima, you just hide and wait there in the Nether Mines. Where does the Nether Mines pop out to? Minawa. Janega. All problems. Hot Hollows continues to be under siege by Independence. That is good news for me. Jabufa, you'll be moving in with these units soon, very soon. I might actually pull the trigger on Hot Hollows before everyone is in position for it, just to spring a surprise on them. After all, if I surprise myself, I will surely surprise my enemy. Witterich, wasn't I meant to move you out last? Pretty sure I was moving you out last time and then completely forgot to. Well, all the more reason to pull the trigger before I even know it. Wait a second, ideas are forming in my head. What if Bob goes down and Witterich is the reinforcement for Shikoku? That way I can save a turn. Let's see, we've got 31 and 21. Witterich has 35 and 11. But you're closer to reinforcements. Alright, that's what's happening. Witterich takes over Bob's duty in Shikoku. Bob is going to move to the underground. That means I need this layout or something similar to it. Hold and rear, fire closest on you. Hold and attack rear, fire on close. Oops. Fire on closest. If you accidentally hit G on a unit, watch this. Bang, you ruin everything. All those commands that you set up get replaced because it limits it to 5 units and they're forced to guard the commander. So don't accidentally press G here. Although it's easy because I was trying to press F for fire. Anyway, H for hold, capital C for closest, capital R for rear actually, and everybody on the case. And you guys on the front. Ooh, well, would you look at that? Witterich is actually pretty crap at commanding. But that's okay, I will hand these units over to 40 in due time. This is just to get a turn movement ahead of time here. Ishmael could actually be the one going down there. I could have my own god launch the attack. Seems unnecessarily risky, and I want my god to build up my... well, my everything, really. But you need to go site searching for my gem income. Okay. Monsoon. I wish to have fire searched for around here. We'll turn that auto-searching on. Fire gems are important for us. Kala tells us that they're actually constructing a fortification here in Spiral Mountain. Not only that, look at all these provinces that are independently held. There's still a lot of expansion for Slarna to do. And I think they're going to get it handed to them on a silver platter. Because Atfsang and also, who are the other guys? Yeah, Uga and Buzitz are having a hard time putting pressure on them. Pislarna, are they really going to be my end game here? I don't know, but I'm going to hunker down in the Haunted Carousel. That's going to give me a good idea if they ever move into the Obra Dinn, and if they move in a large army over to the Deep Gorge Cavern entrance. That should be more than okay. Otherwise, what are my priests doing? Well, as you can see, Dominion is spreading very nicely in the underground. Quite strongly. Every 5 or so temples raises the cap on Dominion strength. So that more or less means that every province is going to have 2 order, 2 productivity, 4 heat. Which is bad. 3 heat is better than 4, but whatever. The reason it's only 3 instead of 4 is because it's winter time right now. But we also get growth scales and luck, so as long as it doesn't get too hot, the population should be fine, and luck should provide us with the gems and income that we need. But it's luck. Luck is fickle. Luck might decide, no, I won't do that for you. Too bad have bomb. I've been hesitating to build temples in the Cavern Realm and the Mines of Despair. Still going to say no to the Cavern Realm because it's just enemy jumps into Netherlands and then immediately goes to Cavern Realm. They're going to trash my temple there immediately before I can move my army out of Yellow Caves. But King DDD, please erect a temple here. As for the others, there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done spreading Dominion down here. So Wolfstass. We don't really need you in Mudwater, but I do need a lot of stuff around here. Actually, this is a very safe area, isn't it? It's going to be extra safe if I plug Crystal Fields. Because then even if they come out of Deep Gorge, they can't advance further than that. Point is, I want mages over here, or priests rather, over here. Let's going to have someone down here. Fighting with Atsang could backfire, but get over to the Mines of Misfortune regardless. Liu Bei, you wait in New Liverpool. Hey, look at that. Pewter City, England. Are they going to clash? We'll have front row seats for that. Princess Zelda starts over in Lutzang, and Jifbuya, it's not yet time for you to move, but it's almost time for you to move. One move, two move. One move, two move. Do I just attack Hot Hollows? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I should wait another turn or two. Don't get too greedy. But greed is good. Ishmael was the son of Abraham in the Bible, but didn't seem to do anything treacherous. Well, that is just one Ishmael. I'm sure there have been many more. Ooh, thank you, my hero. You found the Grey Lodge of Quantum Golf. Gets me a Grey Enchantress. Ooh, Air Death Glamour. Plus 100% chance of getting either Air Death or Glamour up, so this is Death 2 out of the gates if I wanted to build up in Quantum Golf. Quantum Golf proving to be not quite so quantum. That's impressive. This is where we already have the Crystal Priestess. None of you, however, are... Well, actually, no, you're Sacred. Sacred is good. Sacred is cheaper. No inherent ability to study very well, though. Yeah, you guys are expensive. A consideration, if I ever need air en masse, there it is. Although I already have air en masse. Well, if I need death en masse, there it is. Yeah, because I've already got 2 air here. If I needed to summon air elementals out of nowhere, I can certainly do that. Also, is my air searching going well enough? I'm searching for air, but I'm not finding anything good. Princess Zelda doesn't change that, neither does Monsoon. But what about the Underhome Battle? Oh, these guys should die pretty easily. Poison. Wait a second, Poison Claw is not good. Ah, it's paralyzing poison, it's not deadly poison. It's deadly if it hits you badly. Wait a second, Corpse Eater? It's a shame they capped the amount of hit points you can get out of Corpse Eater, but since when were you able to recruit infantry that get Corpse Eater? That's really cool. Corpse Eater is one of the most interesting abilities in the game, in my opinion. Because you create lots of corpses from battles and patrolling. Did I just see a death explosion? Something went boom there. I don't know what. Fortunately, though, we have monstrous fire resistance, so explosions aren't going to do anything to us. Even fire elementals wouldn't touch these guys, which is amazing news for us. Yeah, so even weird undead monkey things. Band are apes cursed with insatiable hunger for flesh. They feed on the dead and inhabit cemeteries. Well, although they need not eat, they certainly do eat. Ah, we've got ethereal Ganas here. They could be a problem, but ethereal blocks 75% of non-magical attacks, but that still means 25% of them are going to get through. We still shank them all to death. The province is ours. Is it a good province? No, income 5. Does that sound good to you? What a terrible province. Suspiciously terrible, actually. I want my units out of there very quickly in case they start contracting diseases. There's one diseased unit, but I have no reason to believe that's because of the province. I don't trust this Underhome. Get out of there. It connects to Pilot Wings Resort. As we can see, Atvazang is actually close to Pilot Wings Resort. Fascinating. Too fascinating for words, actually. I want a Bakemono show. That's you, by the way. Go and sit on Pilot Wings Resort forever and tell me if anything happens there. Calot, you sit near the Bronx. and report directly to me. Has the pop maybe been killed by Asphodel's Dominion? Not inconceivable. But do we think Asphodel would have really reached here? Asphodel's capital is there. I don't think it would have reached here. But I don't think doesn't mean it didn't happen. Well, that also means it came all the way to the underground. I'm not going to believe that. No way. No way did Asphodel do this. I think it just might be a crap province. We do get those. There are resources to be sure, but no money. Also, it doesn't help that the Dominion is pretty horrible here. Ooh, you can no longer abuse enemies' Dominion to boost research. The positive influence of enemy Dominion doesn't apply. Cool. Nice change. Well, not very nice. It was kind of strategically interesting to purposefully take enemy Dominion to do better things, but I guess it goes against the nature of the game. Point is, we have some nice provinces around here. The Deep Gorge Cavern itself and the Crystal Fields, they're fine enough. We continue moving around, add down a token amount of province defense just for events and such. Caverns of Gold had better be as rich as they claim to be. Forte, I wish for you to grab the additional troops, and there's no point moving out just yet. Wait until Bob is there. 1, 2, 3 turns, and then we attack. So that means you can recruit these units for another 3 turns. 1, 2, well actually 1 more turn, 2 more turn, then you move out and then you attack. Supplies are okay here. Supply usage by Bob is 83. Supply usage by Forte is 79. Then again, it's warm in Stalagmia and it's very cold over in Hoff Hollows. Supplies will be halved. But it's currently late winter. Summer is going to approach by the time we get here. But he still seems to have very cold Dominion. I think we might starve on the march. It is certainly possible, so let's try and stay mobile. The problem is once units start starving, they get diseased, and then if we continue the march, the disease will eventually kill them. A bit of an investment loss, but taking this land is so strategically important to me. Not only that, there's good income. The cave forests provide very nice income. It gets boosted much like farmlands above. And would you look at that, we've got cave forest and cave forest. And the crystal caves are good for resources. It's just good land to have, and knowing that we will be the ones in control of the, well, almost uncontested underground is a lot. It means a whole lot to us. Bone-filled cave is here, giving us death gems. See, that I like as well. So Forte, just wait out for a moment. Yusuke, I want you to... Shade Beasts. Do I want you to pop out here and check out Gratis? No, sir, I don't think I do. Just keep an eye on there for now. You might be found out and killed by Provincial Defense, but that's your problem. This is very soon going to be your problem. As for you, DDD, get down to the Mines of Misfortune. We clearly have some preaching to do to dispel this cold Dominion. It's one of the things I really love is seeing the world transform because of Dominion. Cold places will melt away the snow and heat up. Wastelands will turn into deserts. You can freeze the ocean. If you have a lot of growth scales, you can turn places into farmlands, or I don't think you turn into farmlands, but you certainly turn them into forests with lots of growth scales. The transformation is palatable. Oh no, the wolf! The wolf contracted a disease. The wolf is already going to die. Well, that's a damn shame. They'll be dead in 10 turns, and I'm not going to get Gift of Health up in that time. Dijon, continue to search around for me, please. And as for you, Witterich, you are there to patrol, and your army knows what to do, although I still appreciate having even more of an army. Toad Raider is going to move it around for you. Alright, all is well. Jeng's a couple hours and we're keeping it quiet, but I am gearing up for war. The Throne of the Artificer. Wait, that's a very good throne. Alice, the Left Hand of Knowledge, has claimed that. I need to look into that. Searched and found nothing, searched and found nothing, searched and found nothing. And then Anakim says that they have their new prophet, Juskar. Netherlands in 10 years. I was worried about this. We are getting attacked out of the water by Pislarna. However, they're attacking with Shamblers. Shamblers are not very impressive. Their attack skill is that of essentially light infantry. Those claws can be a little scary because it's 15 slashing damage, 2 per unit. But they have low, crappy protection. I should be able to ravage these guys. Especially if my light horsemen can actually land their attacks with their bows. Also, I've got crossbows coming in to start shredding them. Yeah, stand up to that. And stand up to my charge. Don't worry, the heavy cavalry can tank this. Heavy cavalry have great bardings and great defense skills, so it's very unlikely that those claws can actually hit. 16 defense skill versus 10 attack skill, not going to happen. So yeah, they get softened up by being shot, they get pulverized by a cavalry charge. Those that survive are going to get mopped up by... Actually, the cavalry can still engage in half-decent close combat with spears, but... yeah. Shamblers, not a problem. These aren't quite as bad as fighting the itchited walking fish tacos. Those are a bigger problem. I was confident in leaving this to my provincial defense, though. I didn't station an army here because I was quite confident this would be enough to hold. Although, if they dedicated more, it would not have held. I just don't have the money to spend on enhancing this further. But that is my problem. What exactly did they throw at me? Yeah, only 38 Shamblers. 86 province defense on that. Still, glad we won. What's happening in Liverpool? Right, these guys I'm a little afraid of because they come with built-in fire resistance. Also got these really cool Sacred Depraved Destroyer units. Chaos power, so they get stronger in high turmoil. They also, I believe, get stronger in unrest. Yeah, every 30 points of unrest is 1 more turmoil, up to a maximum of +3 for the bonus. But it also means that in provinces that are very calm, they become weaker, which is good. We have a lot of order instead of chaos in our dominion. So if the Depraved Destroyers come and attack me directly, I should be able to repel them without problem. But they're not the main problem, right? It's these guys. Highly experienced demi-giants, the Anakim Heavy Macer. They go bonk. But can they bonk these naked tribespeople? They are actually naked. All they have is their hide shield. They die to a stiff breeze. And shields only help you if you actually block an attack with them. And I just saw a guy there that absolutely did not. So the naked tribespeople, they come along, they throw their javelins. Their javelins do practically nothing, because these guys have amazing protection. So if you did hit them with a javelin... This guy got shot in the head with a javelin. And he didn't even feel it, because that smacked his bronze cap. Yeah, protection 6 on the head, not happening. And then they come in and just squish these naked people. I'll be surprised if they actually get any kills on the giants here. Yeah, just getting absolutely melted. One of the poor naked guys was caught in a net and then shanked to death on a Khopesh. And then he comes along, he plays like I play Henry in Kingdom Come, coming along bonking with his big old mace. Yeah, look at that. One single swordsman taken down by all of those naked people. The Lion Tribe unit is just so bad. It's one of the reasons people don't like playing as Machaca, because they get a lot of these naked tribe warriors. It's so bad. However, Machaca does have hoplites, and those are really good. Nature gems, that's what I'm looking for. Dominion, that's what I'm looking for. The Mudwater Cave Fortress is complete, and with their creation within reach, the magic artifacts are starting to long to be forged. Each month, 1 or more artifacts that have not been created will be yearning to be forged, and they can be half cost. We don't really have access to making those, but someday we will. Yeah, can't really make anything currently. Someday, though. Someday. Right, the wolf is already starting to pile on afflictions, and Gift of Health is aeons away, so I think your time is near. Let's get back to the capital and research until you die. Dijon, you are still a very good searcher for me with triple air and double glamour, so I'm still searching with you. Mos Mori, I want you to wait right there in Undermountain and tell me what goes on. Emperor Karl. I do want an additional temple here, so let's bring that down. Arazach, why was I bringing you over here? I wanted you stationed out on Pilot Wings, I believe. No, Spiral Mountain? I thought I wanted someone in Pilot Wings Resort. There's Pilot Wings Resort, and that is what I want checked out. Alright, please go there. Forte. Gather the units for another turn. Next turn, gather the last of them, we move out. Princess Beatrix, you wait there and tell me what's happening in the Chilad Caverns. Oh, there we go. Apparently there's only a single enemy unit here, but don't believe that for a second. They have, they most certainly have province defense up the wazoo. 1, 2, 3 turns. 1, 2, 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. Ah, so I will have the turn to move into here, but the Realm of Silence to Lightless Cavern is frozen. So the enemy might go around my back here, if they have the army to move around. I don't think they will. I think they're going to be more concerned about Hot Hollows. So I am going to push my luck and take the Caverns of Gold and Deep Wagor before I move into Mile Deep. Seems like the clever thing to do. Ishmael, please search Wily Coyote. I want you underground and searching, and I want to continue to crank out these guys wholesale. And Princess Zelda has already searched and searched some more. Do I send you underground to continue on the death searching? Death searching is really good for me, so I think I will. Yeah, because there's not currently anything you can do that's amazing. I want my Wraith Lords, but our research is so low, that's a long way away. I tell you, if I had the access to Wraith Lords from the start, I could just win on them alone. They are so good. Or maybe I'm just good at using them. I won't believe I will not believe they're overpowered. Donjiro, just wait here. You'll move units around if the need arises. Jif Booyah, is it time for you to assemble? I think it is. Please join us? I guess so. The more units I have here, the faster we crack Hot Hollows. And if I do run into supply problems, I'll retreat some excess units back here to feed them. It doesn't look like there's much to be eating around here, but there are actually settlements of people in these cave places. They're being enslaved by furiously hot creatures from the above, so I can't imagine what they're thinking, but it's probably nothing happy. Anyway, Forte gathered the units, and you will do so for one more turn. Snecko Lords. Snecko Eye is good, but I am also good with Snecko Eye. Do not forget that. Wow, we actually find something, the Enchanted Pyre. I'm very happy about that, because every bit of autonomous... What are you auto-searching here for? Does that mean you're going to move? I'll see if you do. I don't want you to... Oh, man. Diseased Andarius. Why are you all going to be dying on me? I know you're incredibly old, but please stop dying. This is why I need Gift of Health up. Gift of Health is an enchantment 7. Yeah, I mean, I do have the access for that, and I could always melt down the gems if needed, but the research is the hard part. Look at that, 83 a month. It's going to take 5 months to get to level 6. It's going to take another 20 months to get to level 7. We need more research speed yesterday, which is why I think Monsoon should, instead of auto-searching right now, you should construct me a laboratory so I can crank out additional mages. I just wish I had another better research mage at the handy. Preferably a sacred one so they're cheaper to recruit. Woodhenge Druids are an idea, but their upfront cost is quite high and their research ability isn't that good. Yeah. Well, there's always going to be weaknesses to any build. Right, Ishmael, having found nothing, please continue to try to find something. I might need you to summon units for me. Please get researching. Look at... The wolf is just dying. This must be the wolf from Stronghold 3. I wonder if he made his way over to China for Stronghold Warlords. We obviously didn't play enough. Please continue to search. Please continue to pray. Get over to Glowing Cavern. Glowing Caverns is dangerous. Get over to Caverns of Snecko. Pray there, please. Forte, the time has come to march. Gather up the last of the units. Supply usage still isn't that high, but Hot Hollows is not nearly as hot as advertised. It's going down real soon. Bob and Jabufa. Bob has 125 possible leadership. Is that enough for everyone? Ooh, that's quite convenient. Alright, very good. So Jifbuya can actually hold back. Bob can go on the rampage. Bob's at the better, they're more experienced for it. Jabufa holds back in Yellow Cave. I'm still recruiting there, and I will bring reinforcements if needed. Same can be said for Mudwater Caves. You get in there. As we can see, our units are going to join up and be quite terrifying. The low amount of flyers that we had before will severely get reinforced from 9 to 40. Hot Hollows is going to die real soon, or so I hope. Let's continue the temple construction. That includes one in Cold Hollows. I know this is expensive. We came into this expecting expenses, so don't worry about it. Wick, take Deep Wagor. Put a very paltry amount of province defense in the Caverns of Gold, which aren't that golden. Income 50. Wily Coyote. I need a lot of site searching done here, please. And I mean a freaking ton of it. The sooner I get Nature Gem income regularly, the better. Wraithlords are very good against mundane troops. They can't deal with magic nearly as well. That is true, which is why they're very good against the AI, because the AI isn't good at scripting magic or deploying good mages in battle. It just throws units at you, and if it works, then that's just a happy accident. I don't think I have a way of knowing. What is this? There was a battle in Umbor. Did we see that? I don't think we did. Janiga's moving on in. Hey, they really like using those lizard guys. Shades can be a problem to deal with. They die if you sneeze on them because they've got no protection. They do like to steal your strength. But they're ethereal, so without magic weapons, they're a pain to deal with. These guys are an even bigger pain. Shade beasts with a reanimating bite. If they kill you, you'll turn into a zombie. They are also ethereal and a bit harder to hit. But surely they can still be eaten by the lizards. You know you're having trouble with fighting the ghosts when you keep hearing that big suck sound. Works to my advantage, of course, if Janiga have problems here, because I'm about to go to war with them and I'm about to steal a lot of land off of them. They're not going to be best pleased with that. On top of that, ghosts are not known for retreating very easily. Cool. One wonders where all these ghostly beasts came from. Are they actually native? It says independence, but I don't actually know if they started in that province or appeared through an event. As for the Caverns of Gold, I think it's fair to say I'm killing these Zots easily. But what in the world happened to Loch Ness? A band of renegade Atlanteans are raiding the coast led by a vicious shambler. Please tell me I didn't put a temple here because I'm losing it. There's no way to know if you had a temple before or not. At least I don't think so. But yeah, these crappy naked Ichitids just die easily. The only competent person here is my own national swordsman, Albert Wesker. It's the ultimate life form, and you're laughing. Yes, we are, Albert. Away you go. You have let me down. I have to dedicate my own troops to take that out. And I don't really want to send Toad Raider, but I'm going to send Toad Raider. I mean, honestly, if you just attack rear with these guys, we're already going to win. And just have them on guard commander. Toad Raider doesn't know what to do. Toad Raider is crippled with dementia, but I'm still going to take my Loch Ness back. Because it's still resources for my capital, and not having that lowers the amount of units that I can crank out. And that is unacceptable. I think we'll have it like this for now, then. God, I hate seeing all these old people dying. Ah, Sylvie. Right, we continue to crank out the likes of Illuminati. I am just going to put you onto auto site search so I don't need to think about it. I doubt you're going to go to places that Ishmael is already going and investigating. At least I hope you don't. And then the time has come. Very curious to see what, if anything, Janiga's going to throw back at me. The AI is very unpredictable in how it uses its forces. Ooh, we actually did find something in Socotra. Wait, what do you mean I hadn't searched it? Wait a second! The incredibly rare priestly find. I'm pretty sure the Covenant is a priest site there. So Illuminata searched it because it hadn't been searched for priest. And priest is magic. This is a magic path, just doesn't usually get treated by, like one. And because of that magic path, we found a covenant. Oh, wait a minute! Disease healing! Oh, lordy. The old people are going to live. I don't need Gift of Health. Oh, wow. Turn the boat around right now. Absolutely right now. Disease healer, disease healer. So these aren't affliction healers, but disease healer is just as good. If not better. It actually is better. Do I want the one that has priestly powers as well? Cost upkeep 49, cost upkeep 56. The sisters are stealthy, but they won't be able to preach. Preaching is important to me. Yeah. Make me nuns constantly. Gonna shove a few nun... Actually, we don't need... priest... yeah. Gonna start out with a few sisters because they're cheaper. Don't even repeat recruitment. I want 3 sisters, and then I want lots and... Well, Christ, they cost, don't they? Alright, make me sisters for a while. The sisters are going to go to Jawet, and they're going to prevent my old cripples from dying. And Darius? Where are you at? Because that does include you. You're no longer on auto-search. Just search for now, and then I'm going to bring you back home, where you're not going to die for a change. Wow, that's very important. Jifbuya says, I just got here. Did I miss any important events? What we just had happen right now was very important. We invested in getting Woodhenge Druid. Woodhenge Druid found us the Covenant. Covenant gives us the ability to heal diseases. And that is one of the biggest problems for my mages. They go very old very fast. Some of them are born old. God, that is bad. You deliver a baby, ask the doctor, is it a boy, is it a girl? Oh, it's Helden. It's just old from the get-go. Anyway, we'll be able to heal their old man diseases. That is just such good news, holy moly. I'm over the moon about that one. The Covenant is rare and hard to find as well, and we just, poof, get it out of nowhere. All the more reason that I don't want to lose Socotra. Also, I took back Loch Ness. This time we're going to slightly harder defend it. Woad Raider get back with the army. What else happened? Yeah, that was such a big thing. Umbor, they go for another stab against the Shady Buggers. And once again, the lizards are sucked to death. This was a different fight, right? What about the Deep Wagger? Experienced Dominions players don't rewatch the battles, they just look at the summary, but to me it's very important to see how they unfold. It's exciting, I enjoy it. And sometimes it's satisfying just to see yourself go and murk units like that. The slaughtering, it feels so good. Yeah, the National Health Service is here in Dominions. Right, so as I expected, these guys are just plop dead. Was never a concern. Actually, did you poison me? Yeah, they poisoned me quite a bit. Did you actually kill any of my guys? Yeah, I reckon one of them died to poison because no one was credited with a kill. That's the problem with these coral spears, they got poison tips on them. Kind of hilarious that it only does 5 poison, whereas my guys deal 15 poison, but we're not poison resistant unless we're blessed. And it's very difficult for me to bless my troops. Or is it? Because now I have access to those sisters, and they can cure disease whilst on the war march. And they can bless my units in battle. And they're quite cost effective. But they're not fireproof, so I probably don't want them there. Yeah, and they have no protection either. They'll die to a stray arrow. Okay, much things to consider. Free fire gems, free unrest and misfortune. Thank you, Luck Scale 3. And Anakim are sending in their giant scouts. Wow, we never would have picked this guy out in a crowd. We put him to sword, but now we're in position to go to war. And this is usually where I say, and we will do this next time, but no, we do it now. Forte could take command of the whole army. She won't, though. She's going to take command of the front and center. And... what? How did I click on this screen? I was trying to move you over to this guy. I probably clicked on here instead of here. Okay. No diseased. Give me the... Oh, not that. What's the one for injured units again? Select all wounded ones with W. Wounded ones. There we go. Keep the wounded ones as your bodyguards. That's fine. Hold an attack rear, hold an attack here, stay behind, stay behind. Keep them behind the units here. They'll hold for a turn. Okay. This is agreeable. This is very agreeable. There's loads of protection on my my commanders, so unless magical stuff hits them, they should be able to survive very handily. Good hit points on them. They much. Oh, nice. This is even better news. So Janiga just spent their own resources alleviating the siege of Hot Hollows, and now I can go in and kill the relievers. It does mean that they're going to fix their walls, but that's my own problem. Counter problem is they might move over here from Umbra, so what I could do is I could push my advance. I take Hot Hollow, and then I advance and take Umbra as well. But there's still a real concern they swing around to Glowing Caverns. Since it's still hot here, the water won't won't be a problem for them. 150 units. Including really crappy, naked... Wait, what? Did you get mercenaries for that? No, they got just useless, crappy units there. Okay, still a problem. I don't really want to invest in high province defense here that's likely going to die anyway. But there is a lot of likely going to die anyway around here. Anyway. I think the best thing I can do after moving on Hot Hollow is to see if there's a big army anywhere around here and then move accordingly. I might want to branch off some of my army to Glowing Caverns to keep it protected. And then we're too wide as we sweep in. I don't like being cut off around the corners when I advance, because the AI is full of cheating bastards. Right, Gold Crags needs a temple. Silverworld has a temple, but needs some preaching. And Wick, but not John. You have secured the Deep Wagor. Move into Endless Caverns, and move into Mile Deep, and then ravage them from behind. Cut off the Stumble Down Passage. We'll take care of everything else before we lay siege to that. So I said Andarius wasn't going to die today. You're going to search and then you're going to pop back up and get healed by my sisters. That is good. Monsoon has built a laboratory. That is also good. We're going to start cranking out... What are we going to crank out anyway? I feel like having... Oh no, they're old. God, I hate the old. Yeah, I gotta get the younger guys because they're not so old they instantly die. I don't have enough sisters to spread out just yet. We'll keep going with the level 2 fire mages for now, but only for now. Valval says, hi, how is the run going? Is it full evacuation to the caves already? No, we still hold the upper area. Our decision to let Pislarna and Anakim touch each other here has worked out well for us, I believe. Kept the pressure off of us, we didn't overextend. But yes, the underground is ours and we're about to contest for full ownership. We're going to push out Janiga, and we already have Atfazang cornered. And it's not a problem to go to war with Atfazang because they're not here. Whoa, this is interesting. Pislarna came out of the water from Hudson Bay into the Fountain of Doubt. They pushed into Asphodel's capital circle. That's great because there's nobody living here, meaning there's no supplies. So whilst they go on the rampage, Pislarna is also going to starve themselves to death and get diseased, so having my enemies fight each other is such good news for me. I want my good old pretender god Ishmael to go and search around. Jifuya, you wait around. You'll be moving units around soon enough. What about Monsoon? Do I want to research here or build up more? I'm going to move you up to the hole so you can also build infrastructure there. Princess Zelda... You're already underground. Should I put you on auto search? There are more magical sites over in the forests, you say. Probably just have you on auto search, but I can't help but feel you're going to stumble into something and get yourself killed, but that's alright. That's why we have Twiceborn on you. Hold and wait. I want to keep my eyes on Pilot Wings Resort, see if anything happens here. It's a bit of a weak point for me. They can come into Underhome. I'm not in a position to plug these holes yet. It's very expensive to build fortifications, and currently my priority is going to be plugging Nethermines Umbornd. Umbra as well. A lot of ways for enemies to come out here. We don't like that. Good. We be the most incredible soldier from underground. See how easy they all fall down. This isn't Lemmings. Old man saga. Yeah, I do have a penchant for old men. Love those Banner Saga games. I just think they weren't that successful as a product. I recall reading a postpartum about the game, and they were talking about how they really fell short on marketing the second one. They thought, you know, the work's done, we had a successful run, so surely everyone's going to join for the second game, but actually there wasn't a lot of uptake in the sequel. Hey, gem deposits. Extra money for a man who's desperate for extra money? This is my kind of god. How did he even find that? Must be an Earth site, right? Yeah, perpetual... The plane of perpetual drought increases heat. Everyone's going to die in Shikoku eventually. There's pop kill here of -1%. Yeah. Nobody wants to live in this desert because everyone dies in this desert. Right, Andarius searches and finds nothing, and Andarius is on his way to Deathville. So we're going to tell Andarius to get back to the capital, which is where we're going to move Raven. Raven is going to be there and heal all of the old coots as fast as we can. Same with the next couple of sisters, and then I'm going to start pumping out the nuns, because the nuns can preach as well as heal diseases. They're also huge. Princess Zelda finds nothing, and here's our fight in Hot Hollows. So, first time actually engaging the enemy, and you might be disappointed to see, is just a few little guys here. What's there to worry about? Nothing really. Some of them have poisonous barbs, so they might actually do some damage to my sacreds here. My sacreds who I'm not blessing. Yeah, look at this guy. He's dead to rights. He got massively poisoned. 11 and 12. Oh god, is he going to survive that? Amazing. All the poison passed, and it did make him a little limp, so he'll eventually die. But yeah, that's a bit of a problem when dealing with poison-barbed enemies. You take the poison damage, can really mount up, especially on fancy units. None of us died, but the limp one will go dead. The important thing is here is I have a massive amount of siege ability. 164 of my fire followers who have enormous siege strength for a regular frontliner. And then, of course, these... the Hellbent guards are... Well, this isn't showing how good they are. I want to get a good look at how good they are. There we go. 8.8 siege strength. So it should be of little surprise to you that we instantly breached it. A turn 1 breach in middle age with these units. I'm very happy with that. Also, there's a magic site. A damned merchant offering her services in the Hidden Realm. Gateway into blood. Not at that rate, but it's something. And then gold. Robbers have been rooted out and treasure confiscated over in the Lightless Cavern. The underground is really delivering for me, so let's press our advantage. So within one turn we popped Hot Hollows. That is good. The enemy will not likely sit idle and let me have my filthy way with the situation. So here's how we're going to handle that. I'm going to break off a significant portion of my army over to Bob. But I'm going to bring quite a lot of the flyers over for Forte, because the flyers are going to handle the... Yeah, a lot of flyers. Is that good enough? I think I'd like at least 12, and I want these guys over here. This is good. Well, this is acceptable. Right, so Bob's job is to go over to Glowing Cavern. Forte's job is to storm this castle, if I can remember the word for storm. Capital T. The shortcut, I mean. My risk here is that if I focus everything on storming Hot Hollows, the units from Umbra go into Glowing Caverns, and then they're very hard to chase down. They're going to go over to Gnek or Fortune or Staligma. Just bad things will happen. So I instead move over here, so if they do come and attack, I hopefully block and destroy them. I'm going to put myself just a few more units here. Yeah, so we get a bit of archer support. And then hopefully next turn, my army is placed in Glowing Hollows and Hot Hollows. Glowing Caverns and Hot Hollows. And then we push into Umborn Umbra simultaneously. And then we can even spread out. So maybe Wick successfully plunges through Mile Deep. Then they can do Realm of Silence, allowing me to move into Chilled Caverns. And then we just swoop the whole thing in one go. Little greedy, but I think we're strong enough to handle it. Reinforcements could, would, and should be brought in by Jifbua. But only if the situation deteriorates, like lots of reinforcements coming in. I want to hold as we are. Anakim have Deep Mount and nothing else. How How do you summon Blackhawks underground? You really shouldn't be allowed to do that. Right, Gold Crags, we have the money. Please build me a temple here. I'm going to want some very quick, cheap and dirty commanders around here just for building up. That's where Bakemono Sho are really good. But I already have my Bakemono Sho. Yeah, we do. Right, we got Yusuke here. Sudazima here. Princess Beatrix here. No indication of having actual... Oh yeah, these are independent provinces. This is great news. Very great news. Princess Beatrix, please maneuver over to the Realm of Silence so I get an idea on what's happening in Stumbledown Passage. Shifuya, continue to wait. Toad Raider. Raider of Toads. Keep all of the units back here, please, for now. Researchers pumping out, which is fine. I have a dreamsicle that someday we finish Enchantment 7, and then I can start construction to boost my research further. Enchantment 7 is really good. Even if I don't have old fogies to heal, Gift of Health can still give you up to double maximum hit points on your regular units. Dejan, please find me things. We continue to preach at Moonlake. Probably going to want a replacement for my temple in Loch Ness, if I even had one to begin with. And despite the risks, do I want a temple here? I say no because it's a little easily cornered here. It could be instantly destroyed by Anakim and Atfsang. Whereas Emperor Karlsfrand themselves can preach the good word, and if they die, I won't cry over them. This is good. This is very good. Continue the attack, storm the castle, destroy Janiga. Roundhouse kick Janiga. Slam dunk a tummy-tingling bowl of Tuchanka soup down the throat of Janiga. Cathedral of Rock doesn't have province defense. Doing a quick check on my province defense to make sure I've not missed any of them. The game is kind enough to give you 1 by default, but I like having it at 6 usually. 6, 11 if I'm not on too much of a budget, but as you can see I'm on a lot of a budget around here. Have you considered making blood communions with priests that have both holy and blood levels? If you have access to a relatively cheap one, they can function as a holy 3 to cast divine blessing. I do not. Simply, I do not. This is probably not going to be a very magical run, because we've been really... My mages are there to utterly blast enemies away with fire if the need arises, otherwise we're relying on our troops here. There's a lot of things like that that are so fancy, they sound so good, but it's very intricate, and you end up just not having the engagement to make it work. It's more of a PvP multiplayer kind of approach. Maybe that's a little sad, but I'm not a big fan of PvP. Excellent poised fish slips, and I was meaning to ask Nyx about this before. Nyx has the tool that renames provinces, but it doesn't work for underground provinces since Dominion 6. I suppose I could troubleshoot that myself. But he already built the thing, he might know what's going on. The Copper Idol is here, that sounds like... Oh, I thought that would be Earth Gems for me. Air Gems are still good though, so thank you, Dejan. Dejan is such a powerful mage, holy moly. I should keep you safe back at the capital rather than site search with you, because you are my entryway to impressive fire magic. You could make a fire helmet and then start summoning Kings of Elemental Fire. Now that'd be pretty splendid, because those guys can heat from hell for the hell of it. Otherwise, we found the Prophet's Sigil. Doom Guy reveals Dominion Scoregraphs. Well, we already have that, so that's a bit useless. I like keeping scoregraphs on so we can marvel at just how much more powerful our AI foes are than I. That's what I'm looking for. The Glen of Verdant Greenery. Finally, nature gem income. It's just 1, but hey, now it's 2. Someday it will be 4, and eventually it will be more than I can possibly use. But it's a race to get, I think, 50 of them for Gift of Health. As for you, Ishmael, please tell me what's happening in Lukshan. Alright, getting better with the magical sites now. Engage. Engage the enemy. Wow, they have got some really crappy province defense around here. Lovely. Normally the AI dumps province defense values to the moon, so I wonder why they haven't done that here. Perhaps Janiga are facing financial woes. Pislarna are somewhat chasing my spy. They're taking on the independents, and these guys are pretty good. What we're looking at here are the Bandar Warriors. Big, simple, cudgeling guys. Primates. But those cudgels hit hard, and their attack skill isn't that bad. It's 12 with experience, it would have just been 11 as normal. And since they're wearing some lovely armor, in addition to their normal primate natural protection, these arrows are just going to bounce off of them. Sorry, sucker, there took about 3 damage. You might notice that I do not often use archery. Archery is one of those things that you either mass it or you don't. If you have lots of archers, that can be a strategy in itself. But there are just too many counters to it. Arrows might be piercing, but unless they're crossbows, they're not likely to do much damage. And if they're crossbows, they attack a bit too slowly. You can enchant them with fire to do additional armor-piercing magical damage, but fire is very easy to negate. There are lots of ways to outdo fire. Air shield blocks projectiles pretty handily as well. And then you have a lot of units to feed and pay. And if they ever see combat, melee combat, you're just losing them all. So no, I'm not a big believer in using projectiles. They can be good. And in fact, I'm playing as one of the nations that would be very well placed for doing it. Wow, who is actually going to win here? Some horses are running away, but I think they've got this. Almost a mutual rout there, but Pislarna routed first. Monkeys get chased down and skewered, and we're all having monkey brains for dinner tonight. So that's excellent news. I do not like seeing Pislarna do well. And that was Pislarna recruiting yet another bunch of mercenaries that I hope they overpaid for. Yes, there are plenty of nations with blessed archers. I say plenty, it's not that common. Okay, what was that noise? Who's sending ghosts somewhere? Ah, it's you guys. That's quite funny. So they have range 36 weakness. I've never seen that. I guess there it is. Cross between a human and a deep one or an illithid. And they're able to cast armor-negating magical weakness with absolute precision. Well, how about that? What does weakness do? I don't actually know. Not that it's of grave concern, because as soon as these flyers move in... Oh, they're moving in. They just back row blend. Whoa! Okay. This guy needs to die. He's a level 5 astral mage with a bunch of astral pearls, and he's going to wipe them out. Despite me telling my guys to go for the back row, they completely ignored the enemy commander, and that's why they're eating stellar cascades right now. Please don't kill me with your thoughts. That's exactly what he wants to do. A permanent strength debuff. Oh, right, you mean weaknesses in, well, not limp, but an affliction. There's no way rank and file are going to do that. Please, okay, thank goodness you went along and just killed him. That sacrosanct lord got an axe to the head for 28 damage. Instantly gibbed. Good. Flyers and ethereal units are great for bringing into storming of castles like this, because the flyers fly over the walls and the ethereal ones walk straight through the walls. It's amazing to see that. I once had an army of giant ethereal elephants, and they just walk through the walls, slaughtering as they go. They can even just walk through and up into the wall to attack the people on the ramparts. Point is, apart from one fire follower who probably took an arrow to the face, that was flawless victory, and that sacrosanct... Where in the world did he get level 5 astral from? Wow, that doesn't answer my question. So he got a +3 roll on astral, and a 1 in 4 and 1 in 10 shot at +1 astral. I get that. Where did he get his 5th level of astral from? Tell me more, tell me more. No equipment here. I would be very surprised if the AI empowered anybody. Do you get events that boost astral? I got an event that boosts somebody's death energy earlier on. How bizarre. In any case, a rare and expensive unit that we just put to death. I want to see his death again. Hope you don't mind. He thinks he's hot stuff. He's even casting illusions, stellar cascades. He's thinking, oh yeah, I've got these people right where I want them. Wait, why does it start feeling a bit hot in here? Getting really hot in here. Thonk. Excellent. And good, we're curing people of their diseases. That is Raven right there. Raven, you're not alone. Send in Dave the Diver as well. This will be our last sister. 3 sisters in the capital should be more than enough to take care of all of the diseases that we ever get. Frankly, 2 will be enough, but let's make it 3 in case a sister dies to a stray arrow or something. So let's take the wolf. We already wrote him off as dead. Why wouldn't we? He's gone limp from his disease, in more ways than one. He's weakened and his chest hurts, but he is alive. That is the important part. He will continue to be alive. Unfortunately, the sisters can't cure dementia or battle fright. Disease is all they specialize in, but that's still fine. Gift of Health will eventually take care of the rest. Toad Raider, you just wait there. Raven, your job is to wait. There's nothing else the sisters can do. It's not an order to heal disease. They just passively do this in the province that they're in. Bob. Oh, lordy, Bob. This could be a problem. This could be a real problem. Check that army in Umbra. 480 enemy units. 2 giant sacrosanct lords are towering over the army there. I think we just have to take them. This is why I had myself at the ready with reinforcements. I'm gonna wish I had my biotic god over there to bless my units, I think. Well, the blessing doesn't do much. Still though, this is of almost grievous concern. Start sending in reinforcements. It might be needed sooner rather than later. Should that include the likes of Silver Surfer, and should I consider my need for mages here? Even a single mage could turn the tide in battle by bringing in fire elementals, so I'm going to bring in this Zawetic follower. Hold them in the castle. There's no guarantee they're going to go for the castle. They might go around glowing castles, mines of fortune, and then we're just sitting here like idiots. There is, however, another idea, and it's a good one. Forte moves into Glowing Cavern. Bob stays in Glowing Cavern. If they move into Glowing Cavern, we have the fight. If they move into Hot Hollows, they are stuck there sieging, and then it's easier to lift, and I can bring in my Biotic God. The worst thing they could possibly do is not advance. That's not even the worst thing, because we'll be in a single position from Glowing Caverns to move in. As it stands, if I make this move, it's possible that we miss each other somehow, or Umbra goes to Glowing Caverns before I move in on Umbra, and he slaughters me piecemeal. So I think the best thing we can do is hold the line in Glowing Caverns. Supplies are actually surprisingly good here. Lots of people there. I guess drip caves are somehow full of supplies for us. I gotta say, Hot Hollows is a nice province. 190 income, loads of resources. I'm still going to recruit this guy, and I'm going to bring in some reinforcements here as well. Just the fire followers, but the fire followers are good. Quite expensive per unit, but man, they are good. They also hold the line a bit better. So yes, this way they're going to be pinned down. They got to come somewhere if they come at all. Either way, I am more at the ready than they are. That's good. Jifbuya, is now the time for reinforcements? I don't think you'll arrive in time. But it's still, yes, they're more useful over here than not over here. So Bob, you just hold the line, slaughter some people. This side is going considerably better, of course. Wolfstass, I want the Caverns of Gold to line my temple. I want to get over to Underhome, get that painted cavern, all well and good. And so here's another thing. They might turn around and fight Wick, but not John, who is not in a position to handle an army of that size. That means moving to any of these provinces is dangerous. But not moving to these provinces is quite dangerous. I don't want to not press my advantage right now. So I should have good faith that Umbra will advance to Hot Hollows or Glowing Caverns. There's no reason that I can think of that they'd go here instead. So, what will we do with what we know now? I like the idea of catching Umbra, so I am going to... There's a huge water elemental here. Wait, why do you have Hydromancers? Where did you get Hydromancers? I want those. Hydromancers are my answer to water. Fascinating. The fight would be better in Hot Hollows, actually. There's heat there. Also, I would love to... You know what? This is an excellent opportunity to get King Dedede inside the castle walls here. Preach to maintain my dominion, or at least introduce my dominion, and build a temple when everything has been and gone. That is good. That is very good. Now, here's a chance. Realm of Silence or the Chilled Caverns? Chilled Caverns opens up more opportunities. So go there, because then you can take Nether Mines and Umbor. And for all we know, they're both safe on the other side. Well, Umbor is not, but Nether Mines is. Alright, we'll make that work. Princess Beatrix, I'm going to keep you there, even though there's a risk that you're going to be found by the local people there, because you're only stealthy 40. Still fine by me. So just hide and wait, please. Alright, well, this is war for you. Nobody said it would be easy. Sorry, boss. I'm whipping the troops as much as I can, but not moving any faster. We need better whips. Sadly, we don't know anything about construction at all. We're working on it. We're working on lots of things. I'd need construction 5 to make that dream sphere, though. I'm going to have to really look at what's better to work on enchantment 7 or construction 5. It's just so slow to research right now. Ah, well. Cope with the situation. At least our research should ramp up, because I'm now at a position where I can crank out some more of my crappy mages each turn. And make no mistake, they are crappy. Kirby, I want you down in Mudwater Cave to erect a laboratory so that we can continue cranking out mages. The underground is going to be our entire economy. What we do above ground here is pathetic. We just kind of sit here and suck our thumbs. Although, this is quite funny. Although we barely have any temples here, our dominion is spreading. Spread into the water, spread out to Osaka, Neverwinter. And it's funny, because Neverwinter will never be winter as long as our dominion is there. I like that. And that's almost certainly because of all the dominion in the underground bubbling up like magma. Wily Coyote continues to search and is a stark reminder that I... Wait a second, if I'm making sisters and nuns, I'm not making Woodhenge druids. Ah, but I really want Woodhenge druids. Well, I guess that's what you're doing. Also, why are you still there? I do not understand the auto-search algorithms, but maybe I don't need to. Alright, let's hope our gambit pays off here. If it doesn't work out, we could lose a significant chunk of our army and our ability to effectively control that side of the caves. I'm talking about Wick and Wick's army. Right, what goes down? Quite a few things. We did get enchantment 6 onwards to level 7. It's going to take a wee while, but maybe not that long. And like I said, getting our hands on Gift of Health is huge, and it's relatively cheap. I just hope it doesn't get sniped, because if we have to fight over it, we're not going to win. You can fight over global enchantments. Enemies can dispel yours or cast others to take their place, and we don't have the gem income to fight over that, sadly. But we're still going for it. Otherwise, the Colossal Fetish has found the Wolf Oak. Good. Even more nature gems, that's what the doctor ordered. How far can you move, by the way? Map move of 21 means you can just step over the mountain into tick-tock clock. I like that. You know, I could even give you boots to move even faster, if only we knew how to make anything. My fetish will continue to search above ground for interesting things. I think it's much more likely to find nature sites on the surface than underground. You do get them underground, but from what little I have seen, it's less likely. Nothing found by Princess Zelda. Trigvi for Ugan Buzig. And then we have some fighting going on. Let's start with the Haunted Carousel. Hello, Chicken Chat, says Multi-Gwilty. Okay. Well, Multi, they say, I know literally nothing about this game. Would you mind explaining a bit about what it is and how it plays? Are there any games it's similar to? I suppose it's not that dissimilar to your Heroes of Might and Magic. No, that's more direct control. It's Civilization, right? It's a 4X. It's an incredibly deep turn-based strategy game. You don't control the battles, you just set up the units and they do their own thing. Anyway, these are the independents. They didn't manage to take them out with their previous attack. They send the barbarians. The barbarians also don't manage because barbarians have terrible morale and away they go. Yes, this is a game about having a pretender god against other factions that have their own pretender gods, and you vie for supremacy. You kill them, you praise your god harder than them. And how do you do all this? Well, largely by liquidating lands into resources like money, magical gems, equipment to build for your units, Then you build lots of units and you send them into battle. And the battles play out like so. I've got one battle in Chilled Caverns here. And Hot Hollows, so they took the bait. They went for Hot Hollows. Let's see how Chilled Caverns went first. The game is extremely deep multi. Every single unit has loads of stats, their own equipment, and you can do a lot of fiddling with them, and there is no end to the amount of strategies that you can come up for in this game. And there's no end to the amount of counters that there are. Anyway, this place is very poorly defended by Bakemono shows, so I assure you they're already dead. Blip. There was even an ice elemental there, and it also got shredded by our units. We raised the temple. This is a big one. So the enemy spent however many hundreds of groschen to build a temple, and we just reduced it to ashes there and then. This is a good indicator of just what we're fighting here. So I have no idea why they have so many naked tribesmen. Do they actually have native access to lion tribe archers? I'm going to have to take a closer look at what this guy's access to units are. So this is what we're going to have to deal with, because there's no way he's letting this fort go. They're bringing in a priest with a bunch of winter wolves. They have chill, but we actually resist cold, if I remember correctly. So their frost breath is not a big deal. Their bite maybe is, but we should be able to defend against that. They have quite a lot of these sticky guys with their poison barbs. I don't like poison barbs, so I want my poison resistance, which we can get from the biotic god Volus. He'll be there to bless us with poison resistance. What in the world? They got Lamias here as well. Shape-shifting, regenerating, life-draining bewitchers. They love to steal my strength, these guys. Also, those glaives are no joke. 22 magical damage on meteoric glaives. Fortunately for us, though, these guys can't see in the dark, so we will kill them without them even noticing us. Despite them being dark, these guys don't see so well in the dark. I imagine there's going to be friendly fire between them. So yeah, they have a lot of units, but do not be intimidated. Our units are going to destroy them. What about the Drake Frost? Magical armor negating damage, but again, I'm pretty sure we resist cold. So they're going to be blind firing a ton of arrows. The bigger concern is Dr. Zoidberg here. His Mind Blast doing psychic damage to us, and it's armor negating. That's a problem, so we need to backline blend these guys. He's even bringing in sea trolls. How fascinating. Wait, I know exactly why this is happening. I think I don't have my AI no recruit generics mod on, so they will actually buy loads of guys like these. Anyway, it's not even worth looking at this. They're going to kill my one sword master here. The point was not to hold this. The point was to attract them in here. But yeah, for some reason they really love those Lion Tribe archers. Right, well they're going to die for that. Also a double fighting Crucidium. Let's see how that went down. So Atfasang comes marching in with barely anything, and this is why I put spies on throne provinces. That is a hell of a lot of lions coming in. Invulnerable to the tune of 25 lions. Slash resistant, pierce resistant, high hit point, massive skills, double attacks, loads of strength. Frankly, terrifying. Also lots of serpents. We can deal with the fire flame. We have massive resistance to fire. But the thing is, so do they, so we'll have to chop them down in the normal way. And this is good to get an idea of those Atfasagin heavy cavern rights. They've got a chilly aura, they resist the cold. Much like some of my units, they can tear down walls pretty easily. But they are... Who did that? That was you, wasn't it? Yes, Ovalius, the Sorcerer of the Sand, doesn't care about friendly fire. To them, all fire is friendly fire. So the undead cavern rights are having a very unfortunate time for their hubris. Skewered by heavy cavalry, consumed by a mortal. Oh, it might have been you. Ooh, low poly upper half nudity warning. That is Alien Archon the Sphinx. Guardian Spirit. This is normally a pretender chassis, but if you are very persistent, you can steal this unit. It would take a lot of incubuses or charm spells to try and get them. But you could. I just think if you have the power to get that, you're wasting it if you're trying to get the Sphinx. Anyway, terrifying. These guys would run if they could, but they cannot. Instead, they will die. Interesting counter synergy for the independents here. The fire is burning their non-fire resistant units. That wasn't the only AI to try taking the Crucidium, though. The walking fish tacos are having a go as well. They're also going to die. Boom. It's like they weren't even there. Well, I know I'm not going to be able to take this in a hurry, but I will need it eventually, because to secure victory, we must have the thrones. Now, the glowing caverns. Wait a second, the glowing caverns? Is that right? That's probably right. Something doesn't add up here. What is this? What the hell is this? They're using the mind blasters. That's my technique. You're not allowed that. No one's allowed in here. So you're going to see little pillars of light here and there. That's them trying to mind blast me to death. And this guy ate it. This fire follower got smashed. He didn't take damage, but he did get paralyzed for 6 turns. God, he is down and out so far. Our hope is that we can advance far and fast enough that we don't get completely attritioned out by the mind blasting. There's a limit to how much of that they can do, thankfully. It's fatiguing, and they got no limit on the amount of the times they can do it, right? Anyway, once they fatigue out, they'll engage in melee. And whilst life-draining, armor-piercing attacks aren't great, I'm sure we can handle it. Also, we've got the back row blenders ready to rock and or roll. I added in a few extra archers just to see if we could pick off some before they come along. But there go the flyers on my end, and please kill these guys. Yes! Oh, that's one way to deal with mind blasters. They just came down and shanked them. Stabbed with the poison dagger, struck with the axe. Look at this guy right here. He just took a ton of poison damage. He's dead anyway. Not that it matters, because we're moving in. We're moving out. Alright, so the mind blasters are taken care of. Although, since when could you breathe poison on me? Is there Nature Glamour Mage? Oof. Oof. Right, you just killed off a couple of my guys with poison. But that's okay. My losses are not as painful as his. All the while, my front line continues to march on. We're setting fire to our own provincial defense, but that's fine. And remember when I gave them axes and ordered them to throw? So my grand thinking was this. These axes are very inaccurate. Get a number on that. That's precision 5. That's half of just regular precision. But there's enough of them coming in that they will strike these guys. You see them landing there, 20 damage, 4 damage, 19 damage. These guys are getting killed by the axes. And it's for free, because I just throw the axes before we even engage in melee. These guys can't throw anything at me, so once they do approach, we still get to engage in melee even after throwing the axes. Something I was thinking about when I was looking at these units between the streams. There are downsides, of course. I might hit some of my own units with my own axes, but I think the payoff is better than the losses here. So, it also, if we throw axes at them, we don't eat their poisonous barbs by engaging them in melee. That was a phenomenal win on our part. And those were actual good national units of our enemy, so we win. We took some losses for sure, especially on the poison. Yeah, even lingering poison is killing a bunch of my guys, but they suffered badly. Yeah, it's sad to see my beloved Hellbent guards die, but we re-recruit 10 in about a turn and a half. And I'm happy to see the Demon Breadwing champions die. I don't want them anymore. But yeah, 155 of their actual units coming in. These weren't their naked tribesmen. These were actual Janigian light impalers, will champions, more will champions. Killed all of their commanding armies. Generic commanders, these freaking lords with their +3 magic path of anything. A water cobalt? How's that iron vulnerability working out for you? That was great. Let's watch it again. 41 kill-death ratio on the flyers, though. It's hard to see here, isn't it? But that's alright. I'm sure you can see the vague colours. Yeah, these guys were quite threatening, but I had enough numbers that I think even if we didn't blitz them with our flyers, they wouldn't have been able to deal with all of this. What's the magic resistance on us? 12. And their penetration is 11, so they're more likely to fail than to actually connect by using their mind hacking. We had a whole strategy built around mind hacking in one of the nations that we did. I seem to recall that being a very hard-fought victory because my strategy didn't actually work until I significantly augmented it. Look at this brave bugger. He jumped in amongst all of them. Still died for it, though. And you can see the onslaught of the axes coming in. Very inaccurate, but even if you miss, there's a good chance you're going to hit somebody else. You see that in RimWorld all the time, right? You shot your target, you missed. You missed by shooting the head off of the other target. So that allows a lot more of these guys to engage than would otherwise. And you can see the flyers just coming down and picking them off. Also worth noting the pathetic... okay, that's a bad example. They're routing. Routing is dropping us by 4. But they don't see in the dark quite as well as we do. Their attack skill gets dropped by 1 because of darkness. What happens to ours? It gets increased by 4 because of darkness. That's pretty swell. Yeah, battle is taking place in a cavern beneath the earth, so of course it's pretty dark. That's us working with our advantage, though. We have inbuilt dark vision. So that puts us at an advantage against most foes, because most units don't. Some units have spirit sight, meaning they're not affected by darkness in the slightest, but look at that. Total annihilation, not a single one survived. Whew, you can see who's doing the bulk of my killing here as well. Delicious. Delectable. Anyway, fantastic. And that was all part of my ginormous brain strategy to divide my forces. We leave the castle here to suck them all in. We leave our main forces here in Glowing Cavern to prevent them doing exactly what I feared the most, which was go around me. It was actually a pretty power play by them to divide their own forces, actually. I know the AI wasn't thinking about this, but I can at least pretend they were coming up with their own Zhuge Liang masterful strategy. So Hot Hollows is going to pop, because they've already done almost 300 wall integrity damage. They're going to tear this down by next turn, and then whoops, I'm in a bad position. But we know exactly what's in Hot Hollows, don't we? Hot Hollows is eating a lot of Lion Tribe archers. In fact, it's mostly archers here, huh? I'm somewhat convinced that if I just walked in with my Tower Shield fire followers, they'd be fine. The shields will keep them safe from arrow fire, cold resistant from the ice drakes, fire resistant from their fire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could take them out with that without even risking my beloved flying units. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have... who should have the honors anyway? I want to continue to divide my forces. Might not be wise, but I really want to secure Umbra. Just take some land while the going is good. Oh right, Biotic God Volus is on their way as well. Not actually sure I want them there. That is just asking them to take a random shot and die. Oh, but they won't take a random shot and die because they are lucky. Even if an arrow came out of nowhere and struck him in the head, there's still a 75% chance it'll be negated. I might be playing with fire here by walking in without much reinforcement, but I really want to just go in. Send 120 of our guys and just see how they perform. Yes, that's what's going to happen. Bob, get on that. Biotic God Volus, also get in on that. You're going to stay behind the troops and cast spells. These guys are going to fire on the closest from anywhere, really. You can also have a line formation. Let's just make our front line a little bit thicker. Get you all over there. King DDD, well done on getting inside before the fighting happened. I want you to preach my dominion. Rockman, do get researching. That's a nice thing about being a researcher whilst under siege. You don't care. You just do your research. Unless they're somehow starving you out of supplies, which can be done. Life is normal for you. Accept your new normal. Right, get moving on in. The AI will never lift a siege. That's one thing I've come to notice about them. You could trap an AI on a fort that they cannot hurt because you have so many troops inside, and they will siege indefinitely, and then you just go and pillage their land. Of course, they have other units that will try and deal with that, but ifs and buts. Right, so Forte will single-handedly move out along here. I hope they don't have massive reinforcements to make my life unpleasant. I don't have to go to Nethermines and Umbor. I could move my units together by moving you into Realm of Silence, you and Umbra, and then we ensnare Stumbledown Passage. And that's a great move, because if my relieving of Hot Hollows succeeds, you can move into Umbor. So Wick goes into the Realm of Silence, Forte goes into Umbra, Biotic God's reinforcements are there, Godzilla's auto-searching. Alright, this will work out quite nicely. And with all the land that I'm taking, and with my delicious dominion that I'm spreading, the treasury is stabilizing and the income is rocketing up, which is exactly what I want it to be doing. Alright, excellent. Is the Biotic God your avatar? I wish. Where is he? Where is he? Tremble in fear at Ishmael the Colossal Fetish. The huge wooden statue that has come to life from being worshipped for many hundreds of years. This is our pretender god. Soon to be God. Anyway, you are moving over to TikTok Clock, as we told you to. There was other stuff going on as well, right? A group of knights unexpectedly came and attacked Mile Deep, and I have a funny feeling they won in Mile Deep, because I don't leave enough province defense to deal with knights. So this wouldn't normally happen to me because I have good luck on my dominion, but Mile Deep is outside of my dominion. It's actually Janiga's unlucky dominion that's doing this. I'm going to leave Mile Deep though, even though... Ooh, do I really want to? Yeah, I'm going to leave it be. It's held by independents, and the independents don't expand, so I'll leave them there and take them at my leisure. What's important is that Janiga does not have it, and that I move in and purge his disgusting dominion from what is now my lands. Kamari Ronso, please construct a fortress. I've wanted it for a while. Monsoon, please construct a lab so we can start cranking out mages here. IFT Clerk, please replace the recruitment of sisters with nuns. Send the final sister to the capital. That is good. Das ist gut. Dave the Diver, you just wait there and heal people. Same with Raven. Same with IFT Clerk who's coming your way. And Darius, get researching. There we go. And Darius' horrible disease has been cured. Now he's just weakened and chest wounded. And he's still not the worst off. Dementia is rare. How in the world did we get it so quickly on Toad Raider? I will never know. I think there are some attacks and spells that can cause dementia, but he didn't deserve it. There's auto-searching going on up at Mystery Lake. I'm sorely tempted to plonk down a temple there, but I will abstain. Capital recruitment is looking okay. I really like my Hellbent guards. Maybe I should give up making fire followers and just bring fire followers from underground from now on. But the resources, man. Could also make heavy swordsmen. It's such a shame. I want so many more resources in my capital, but we just don't have them. Which does mean I should just focus on Hellbent guards and nothing but. Hellbent guards can only be made in Jawet. All the other rank and file can be made everywhere else, so just focus on that. Okay, so Hot Hollows. Do we think we're going to handle this? We've got 140 against 360. But come on now. Who do you think you're dealing with? Your patron saint of Max's Discord. Don't hear that brought up so much these days. Okay, we've searched and found nothing. We searched and found nothing. We searched and found nothing. And then a cripple died in a march. What lovely news. Anyway, 3 fights, all me instigating. How does it go down? How indeed. Alright, Janiga is really not able to afford a lot of province defense. I suspect it's because of their crappy dominion. So yeah, our flying guys just go and destroy them. Who was that anyway? Was that Forte or was that Wick? That I think was Forte. Hot Hollows is the fort fight. I want to look at that last. Umbra, right, this is Forte moving on out. With a significantly lowered army, but again, my foe is just not investing in province defense, which is very unusual for an AI, but that's excellent news for me. Now, Hot Hollows. Scaled down my army quite a bit for this, and they have got numbers, but this is me believing that we can handle this. Starting to think that bringing in Biotic God Volus is a bad idea. He's quite at risk, but whatever. Come on, get in line, you idiots. We got work to do. Biotic God Volus will cast blessings now and then to spur on my enemies. Are these guys ethereal? Yeah, they are. Damn. That's okay. Ethereal or not, you can eventually skewer through it. And to make life even better, you can burn them to death. So we knew this would be happening. There's a lot of arrows coming my way. They outnumber my throwing axes considerably, but we have giant tower shields that should be able to deal with that. And if they get through tower shields, we also have pretty good armor. We're also melting the area. Look, even the fungus is catching fire. I want to see if there are any burning illithids. They don't have fire resistance. They have... I didn't notice this. They actually had air shield on some of them. Yeah, air shield 80. I haven't checked your bless, but let's have a look at it. Ooh, shock weapons. I did not agree to that. So their enchanted broadens tridents also now shock me. 1 armor negating damage and fatigue damage. Magic leadership morale. Okay. Yeah, we can deal with that. Engage them in melee. We stab them with our long spears, which means we don't take poison damage. That's a nice little counter to any of these buggers that have their poisonous barbs. If you use a weapon that's at least length 2, you don't get poisoned. And ta-da, long spear is length 4. Oh, that's amazing. Having a longer weapon is just purely an advantage. That cold resistance is working great here because the Ice Drake is trying to freeze us, but is failing miserably. Why does this guy look all weird? Have you been stunned or something? Ha 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 ha! Okay. Well, the trolls aren't going to be much of a problem. They're also going to be skewered. And look at that ice damage just phasing through my units. They don't even notice. The enemy's getting fatigued out by our intense heat. You see the little blue bar below the unit? That is fatigue. Build up more of it, you get easier to hit. And the arrows are just plinking right off of our armor. We're taking losses here, no doubt about that. But the victory for us is too good to be true. I believe they've ran out of arrows by now. They only had 12 per unit. Now they rush in with daggers. Oh boy. These guys are about to turn crispy. Burn, you bastards. Burn. Okay, so the naked ones have finally given up. The clothed ones are also moving in for engagement. These ones actually have the nerve to bring a sword rather than a dagger. And they even have some of the mind hackers trying to kill me, trying and failing. I like your pikemen. They remind me of House Bolton troops. I'm not familiar with a House Bolton. But I also like my Tower Shield pikemen. Not really a pike though, just a long spear, but long is good. Long means there are more things you can repel. Alright, still a healthy bunch of them left, so what were the losses there? 11! Not even a 10% attrition on that big fight. Whereas they lost 2/3 of their troops, and sadly some of their leadership survived, but it wasn't very good leadership. It wasn't like the amazing mages we had before. The important thing was the survivors were mostly these naked Lion Tribe archers. With their pathetic morale, they would have ran away to their death, actually. When units retreat, they can orderly retreat to an adjacent friendly province. Did they even have such a thing, actually? No. They all died on retreat because I moved into Umbra. If I hadn't moved into Umbra with Forte, the army would have recollected themselves here in Umbra. But I did move in, and they all died there. Also, Janiga's capital directly links to Umbra, and what is more, there are 430 units besieging it. Asphodelian carrion corpses and ghosts. Mannequins, dispossessed spirits, wolves, leogryphs, satyr warriors, and 3 giant manticores are besieging Janiga's capital. That's a huge problem for them. Well, I have a funny feeling the damage we've done to Janiga combined with their topside troubles with Asphodel is going to be the kiss of death for them, but that is no reason to let up. Move in and secure the Stumble Down Passage. Make your move from Hot Hollows into Umbor. Love to take the Undermountain. I don't know what throne this is. Maybe I can suss out which throne it is. Probably the Throne of Death, and I don't want death, so let's not bother with it. But 5 death gems! Okay, I want the Throne of Death. 5 death gems per turn is absolutely worth sacrificing 1 growth scale for. Oh, yes it is. Growth is nice. Growth is a ton of money and everything, especially over time. But I tell you what 5 death gems is, it's a Wraith Lord every 8th turn. I want that. Okay. That was a terrific victory. The pincer attack on Janiga, a huge success. How do we capitalize on this success? Bob, you're moving into Umbor. Do I want Biotic God over there in Umbor as well? Biotic God could actually banish some of those undead, so it's probably not a terrible idea. And he isn't terribly useful for the rest of this either. King DDD, now you're free to erect a temple. Oh, I don't want death. Oh, look, death! And I do. There's a good chance we get through this without Wraith Lords. But it's just they answer a lot of questions that I currently have. Questions like, how do I raid? How do I get into the water? How do I have units that I don't mind the damage they take? Wraith Lords just answer so many questions. Oh, they're the gift that just does not stop giving. Right, Fireball. What do I do with you? You're pretty good to bring on March. I don't currently have any diseases that I need to fix, do I? No, anybody diseased on the front lines would have already died. Do I want to keep chugging you out when I could be making Woodhenge Druids? I love Woodhenge Druids. I'm going to switch back to Woodhenge Druids for a little bit. As for Fireball, I'm going to bring you down here most likely. That way if anybody gets diseased in the underground, you can deal with that, and whilst if that's not happening, you can still aid by preaching and erecting more temples. In the meantime, Monsoon, no reason for you to move around a bit more. Actually, there is. While you're down here, please auto site search, and I want to continue to bring in more level 2 fire beasts, fire mages rather. IFT, you and your ilk, you simply wait. My Colossal Fetish continues to search for more nature sites. We're up to 3. 3 income on nature is nice. We will get Gift of Health down eventually. One can only dream. Kirby is in position to build up a laboratory, but I'm not in a position to afford it. So I will do what exactly? That's fine. Better to upgrade my research capabilities than my rank and file right now, because the research is bringing us towards some very important milestones. Also, by the gods, I need more treasury. Preach while you can, it's all we can really afford to do. Eventually I have more units to pop up more temples with, and I severely need to build palisades and the like around here. We need to pop Nethermines, Umbor, Umbra, and Deep Gorge Cavern. Fortunately, Hot Hollows already has a fort, and, well, there's a really good fort in Stumbledown. I'm looking forward to taking that. Hopefully if I get there I can discover why there is such a good fort there. It's also quite mysterious to me why it's there. If given the opportunity, would I want to take Janiga? I severely doubt Asphodel is going to lose if they've already summoned that kind of army here. But if Janiga do have something to throw at them, what could they do anyway? Asphodel's going to laugh at poison damage. They're probably going to laugh at mind hacking because they have mindless units as well. But the mindless units might mean that their Illithids are able to target their commanders. I'm just really worried about Asphodel gaining too much power. They're right on my border. It looks like they have fairly uncontested access to all of this. Look at all the farmlands that there are here as well. That gives them the turbocharge of income they need to set up their infrastructure so that they're ready for pop kill times. Well, them's the breaks. I still want Fargard. Why is nothing happening in Fargard? Well, be that as it may, Jabufa, it turns out we didn't need your army here. But I want you to deposit it in Hot Hollows anyway, and then get back to Yellow Caves. Yeah, that works for me. It would also work for me having more mages, but again, no money. Mankins are basically worthless. They die so easily, and they just hit point route their mages. Counterpoint, do you think the AI is going to be clever enough to deal with that? Especially an AI that I just broke the kneecaps off of. Well, we'll see. Tick-tock clock contains no magical sites. Yeah, a lot of no magic sites finding. I love Astral Access, if only for the ability to site search instantly. For everything. Right, Umbor itself. This is just independent. Some Biotic God Volus should be able to even banish some of them. Boom, boom. I love that. If you get loads and loads of priests, it can be deafening the amount of boom you hear. How in the world did that hurt you? Ah, okay, no, you got steel strength. I thought you got hit by my banishment. But pull from the grave only hurts undead troops, so that wouldn't make any sense. Decent chance of friendly fire with all these axes flying around, but we have protection and axes, we can handle it. Also, cool, Fiends of Darkness with venomous claws. That's alright though, you're not quite as ethereal as your friends, and you're all gonna freaking die. Job well done for minimal losses. Also a few kills scored for my beloved biotic god Prophet. More experience on good commanders is good experience. Anyway, we continue pressing the advantage by moving into Stumbledown Passage. This is their big fort, and given all the units that they threw at me just died, I'm suspecting... Oh wow, I actually lost 3 to the poison on that. Their poisonous guys are proven to be a pain in my bum. Those poison barbs, yeah, that's a pretty good counter to me using length 1 and length 0 weapons. I'd never considered poison barbs being that good, and I suppose they're not, because you have to be taking the damage to deal it back. But yeah, I don't like losing my fancy sacred troops just taking down chaff like that. People are dying in the chilly caverns. Why? Because it's too chilly. Okay. Umbra gives me minus 80% tax, minus income permanently, and blood slaves. These are the negative events happening. Here's an interesting thing. There are not enough supplies in Stumbledown Passage for me to besiege it without facing starvation. It's just early onset of starvation, so nobody is getting diseased yet. But they will if I don't pull out. Forte, you've done excellent with the units. You're going to transfer most of them over to Wick. And then you're going to pull out with these guys. Supplies, possibility 164. So Forte is going to grab a bunch of them. Forte's probably not happy not having any flying units, but these guys are perfectly fine in the underground, so just grab a few more of them just to be sure, just in case things get a little colder or even lower in terms of supplies. And then Forte, you march your way out of here. All these holes are possibilities for my enemies to... Oh, Lord, look at that. Janiga's gone. They've lost their capital, they've lost the underground. It's only a matter of time before we hear that their god has died due to either no dominion or, well, lots of problems. But this is a big freaking problem for me. 730 of Asphodelian units right here. Now, I don't believe we're considered at war with Asphodel. This is interesting. Pislarna says they're apprehensive and not at war. Does that mean our state of war has ended? Diplomacy doesn't stop them from just attacking us whenever, but that might mean they're not actually actively against me. But Asphodel, huh? Damn, because I really wanted Janiga. I was actually hoping to poke my nose out and grab some of this because the capitals are always good, but it's funny that the only vanilla nation is turning out to be the final boss. They'll drop off soon enough. That said, I was struggling to think if I've actually ever properly fought Asphodel before. I often just randomly select my opponents, but how do I deal with 730 mankins and vinemen and such? Well, I certainly have ways I could deal with them, but not ways that I currently have access to deal with them. Which means I don't want to stand around in Umbra in case they do attack me, but at the same time I don't want to surrender advantages. So what am I to do? Well, first and foremost, Jifbuya, you are going to deposit your units here and then return. It's your job to ferry units right now. Wick, you're going to tear this place apart. Forte, you are going to stand on Umbra. Yeah, they could attack you and kill you. That is a real concern, though. But maybe they're less likely to do it with the power of Forte there. Besides, these guys won't die easily. Battle-hardened guys right here. They've got the experience. They've got darkness on their side. Actually, that's not true. Mannequins have perfect night vision. We only have partial night vision. The underground was so huge in this game. Ground level was a non-starter. Yeah. Absolutely was. It's funny because we did have good units, but our position just was not working out for us. Should Biotic God be... No, I don't think Biotic God should be in charge of the armies, especially the ones that you can't even bless. So hand over all your units to Bob. I'm taking a big risk by moving you into Umbra, though. So I won't move you out to Hot Hollows. Bob, you take the Nether Mines. Look at that. Asphodel is over in Gratis as well. Is just Asphodel all the way down? Problematic. Right, the sooner we get forts built on all of this, the happier I'm going to be. Princess Beatrix, I want you in a position to fortify Umbra. Yosuke, I want you to fortify Umbor. And Sudazima, I want you to fortify Nether Mines. All of these will be erected simply to stop Asphodel. Whose dominion is this anyway? Shy Mystic. Shy Mystic is the god of Janiga, so that's okay. Also, once you're done with this, Bob, I want you to swing around and kill the Independents in Mile Deep, and then we need to... I need to have a very good army stationed here permanently, just to deal with the possibility of attacks from Asphodel. They could go on an excursion to kick out... I really don't want to fight war with Anakim. I don't mind fighting Atfasang, they can't do bugger all to me, but I do want to secure the underground once and for all. And that means taking the below. Actually, forces are already divided here. The divided force could go and take out the below and Shem. But my dream is that Atfasang moves an army to take over Deep Mount, and even better if they sacrifice some units on Under Mountain. Okay. I can make that work. I want you to preach here. Also, did I start recruiting mages here? I'm going to recruit some cardinals to try and destroy the enemy dominion to heat this place up. We don't like the cold. Kirby, good job in erecting the laboratory. Please get me fire lads, please. Wolfstass, we still need temples, but I'm not going to do that. The money needs to be spent on defense. Palisade, palisade, palisade. With any luck, I'll have enough money to put down both of these palisades next turn. And it won't be luck. And the next turn, Stumbledown Passage should be destroyed enough to fall. The walls are severely damaged. Yeah, it's probably going down next turn, if not the turn after. Either way is fine, because I really don't think Janiga can fight back after this. Are mannequins weak to fire? Now that's an excellent question, and it's exactly why we have tools like the Dominion 6 Mod Inspector. Dominion 6 Mod Inspector, please tell me about mankins. Is it mannequin or mankin? Mannequin. Mannequin is a unit summon. Construct Mannequin makes them... They resist cold and poison, and they count as a plant. They are poor amphibian, pierce-resistant, undead, magical, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, force surviving, recuperating, spirit-sighting units. They have no protection, fairly standard hit points, human-sized, but they'll never rout. Morale is 50. Their skills are pathetic, 7 and 7 attack and defense. Low precision, they're slow. But they are not weak to fire, that's the important thing. Also, they put you to sleep with Sleepy Vines, if they hit with it, which they're very unlikely to do with attack skill 7. Of course, they've also got a Claw with attack 7. And that can deal some damage. So yeah, we can burn the mannequins. The problem is, there's 700 of them. And I have got maybe 200 units that I can throw at the situation. So I'd need to summon all of my forces to deal with an army of 700 of those things. And it's not just 700 of those things. We know that the terrifying force of Asphodel also concludes Mandragoras, Vinemen or whatever, but dispossessed spirits are also a pain, ethereal, hard to hit, and I don't have the priest core to banish them. Important note, Sleep Vine attacks 3 times per round. Oof. Ow. Okay, didn't know that. Alright. I'm sure we can deal with it one way or another, though. Right, my Colossal Fetish is just continuing to search around. I see little better things for Ishmael to do than find me glorious nature gems. Earth gem income is sad. At least we get a little bit of everything. Wolfstass, please continue to preach, because I do not have the wherewithal to construct further. We must shore up our defenses first and foremost. I want another Bakemona show, but didn't I shove one over to... No, the one that I shoved out here died, right? No, Kalaw's still alive. Alright, Kalaw. We already know that the Oberdeen has been secured by Atfasang. And that's the Throne of the Artificer, right? Wow, what a nice throne. Double Dominion spread, 2 points, 3 gems, and a construction bonus. Whew. I'm a little bit jealous. Anyway, move over to the Bronx. It'll give us a bit more of an idea of what's going on around there. And I'm going to prep a Bakemono show for when I erect a fort here. Bear in mind, I also need a fort in Underhome, although it's not such a priority. It might even make more sense to put a fort on the Pilot Wings Resort, but I prefer them to be underground. That way, if the fight is here, it's darkness, and then I get my big bonuses to fighting. I think I'll be okay. I should also get forewarning, because if Pilot Wing Resort falls, then they might want a piece of me here. The important thing is to have my units ready to pounce anywhere in the underground, because if they're anywhere in the underground, they're almost anywhere in the overground, thanks to all of the cave portals that take us up to the top. So that's the grand plan here. Let us carry on. There's a little bit more killing of Jiniga to do. No, there's not a single Wraith Lord, Andarius. Not a one. Although I am building up a contingency plan so that there can be Wraith Lords. Anyway, speaking of which, you're one of my mages and you're failing to find anything of value. You also got sick, but I healed you at great personal expense. Okay, so the last of the, or almost the last of the neutrals around here to take down. We don't have our back row blenders anymore, but we do have a load of axes to throw at these little guys. So look, it thins them out nicely, and by the time they reach the front line, it's just shank, 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 and away they go. These guys are interesting. The Yari makes them repel beasts if you can fluff them up. However, long spears are just as long as Yaris. So we're able to counter one of the better things about Bakemono shows. Of course, the other good thing about them is that they're cheap. Certainly cheaper than my guys. But they're dying and I am not. Oh, how cute! Normally this would be a problem. I don't like the new graphic for Fire Elemental. Yeah, Fire Elemental comes in with this armor-piercing area of effect fire damage. Very good at clearing a lot of things, but our fire resistance is 25 against his 10 damage. He cannot hurt us. Oh, he can try. The funny thing is it's difficult for us to hurt him as well, but... Oh, okay, well, I was trying to prove my point, but we got a try-hard guy there that said, ugh, ethereal, I'll just kill it anyway. Point is, good fight. Also, Bob, you got the Ring of Fire. Tell me more. Bob has grabbed this to give himself even more fire resistance. Not bad, because these guys only have 5 fire resistance because they're not the Abyssians or the crossbreeds. They're just enslaved humans. So I don't particularly mind you holding onto that Ring of Fire. But if anybody's going to have it, it should be Wick. Wick is the monstrous leader here. I want him surviving long time. Speaking of which, please go and storm the Stumbledown Passage Castle. There's Minawa. I don't particularly want to come out and take Minawa. This land would be a problem for me. Especially since Atfazang is here. What can we extrapolate from that? Because Atfazang's capital is here, and he already holds this land. So Atfazang has gone either around here. That's unlikely, but not impossible, because his units can cross water. Being undead that they are, they're often amphibious. So there's a high chance that he's come around or through the water. Either way, he's here. Could be conflict with Anakim, could be him picking off the rest of Fargard. Either way, I don't want to be here, because it just creates a weak spot for me. God, I was meant to have a lot more money than this. Where the heck's all my money? Sorry, all of my student loans for mage research have gone away. We can't afford you. Umbra is the most important fort to be building up, so Princess Beatrix, I want you to start constructing the palisade. What about Biotic God Volus? I want you to grab these units, perhaps? The supply problem will solve itself once we just warm this place up. We can't get supplies because we don't do very well in cold. Yeah, Minawa's not a problem. The other places are. So, Bob, you go and hold Umbor for us, please. Does that mean Forte should hold Umbor as well? I'd like to protect both of them if I could. Add up a little bit of province defense. This place is going to go on the next turn, and then the underground is almost entirely mine. There's just this little corner here that we will have to deal with. Also, I still want Mile Deep back. Prioritize that, actually. It's got some gems that we very much want. Fireball's moving over to... probably Hot Hollows. It's the most central area that's it's more likely that we're going to send diseased units back there. Speaking of which, none of you are diseased. Okay. If there are any expensive diseased troops, my sacreds in particular, I'd send them back, but these guys are... they're getting a lot of afflictions, no doubt about that. Look at this guy. He's weakened, he's frightened, his chest hurts, and he has a never-healing wound. But he's not diseased, that's the most important thing. You were diseased, but I'm not going out of my way to save you. Useless Kamari Ronso has done his job up there. I want you... Let's see, you're a scout, huh? Get you down over to Silver World. We'll figure out how to deal with you later. Kalaw, hold out in the Bronx. Ishmael gets searching. Hatsune Miku, get to... Don't even bother with Deep Gorge. Just Crystal Field, not Deep Gorge. No, I don't believe that. But it's such a pain to get over to Deep Gorge. But they could come out of Spiral Mountain real easy. Deep Gorge is also not that bad a province, though. It's almost 100 income. So what I'm contemplating here is that I need a fort to stop people from just coming in through Spiral Mountain, going into Deep Gorge, Crystal Field, and then raiding me here. Either I build it on Deep Gorge, but that's quite far away from my units to respond to. Or I build it in Crystal Field, easier to respond to, boosts more places, but then this becomes a problem. You know what? We're doing it in Crystal Fields. Executive decision. Forte, you just hold the line there. Biotic God Volus will join you. For better or for worse, most likely for worse. And then we need to preach around here pretty badly. So I'm going to send a lot of priests in just to preach away this hostile dominion. He doesn't have his forts here. He doesn't have his temples here anymore, so his own dominion isn't going to spread. Janiga is down and out. And if he just straight up loses due to lack of provinces, then his dominion just disappears. Saves me the bother of preaching it away. Alright. Bakemono Chef is doing nothing. That's fine. I'm recruiting where I should, and I'm not recruiting where I should not, because the important thing right now is to fortify all of this area. If we do that, we're going to have an underground from which we can strike a lot of people wherever we want. And bear in mind, to win this game, you need 15 ascension points. We currently have 2. But hey, our closest competitor only has 3, so... Surely it won't be a problem for us to bust out, steal the thrones, and win. Surely. Ooh, actually finding something, a crypt. Oh, wow. And this is why it pays to search with good high-level mages. The crypt underneath is 3 death gems per turn and a conjuration bonus. That means whenever we conjure something, like, say, a high-level, immortal, ethereal, fully armor-plated master commander of death, we might want to do it in the Yebel Caves because we've got a 20% discount on it. I like that. I like that a lot. That also means for fire summons as well, but not things like constructing magical armor. Speaking of which, it won't be long before I want my colossal fetish back at home to do such things. Pislarna, Zangief the Knight will be their prophet. Also, we had our battle in Stumbledown Passage. And in go the back row blenders. I really don't know why this is a thing in Dominion 6. They have lots of archers in forts on the ground. Why? I'm pretty sure this isn't my randomizer doing this. It might be. I suppose it might be. But I doubt it. You'd think you'd have, like, swords and shields here to block people from coming in, and then archers in the ramparts. Joshua says it is the randomizer. Ooh, interesting. Maybe that'll get updated and fixed, but it hasn't been thus far. Not that it makes much difference if units are on the walls or not. It looks cooler. You're still as easy to kill on the walls as anywhere else. Although people have to climb up to get to you. Right, in addition to that, the AIs are once again trying to take this really fancy throne, and this time they're actually sending a proper army. You look at this whole row of primordial protectors, the sacred units. Oh lord, this I need to keep an eye out for. They have innate poison clouds. If these guys engaged my front row tower shield long spear units, I will take horrific casualties to poison. And unlike my sacreds, they won't be blessed into poison resistance. So my flying units could deal with these guys. Although, there's always an although, right? They... What in the hell? Why are their spears length 5? Ah, of course it's length 4 and they're large enough to add an extra unit to that. Okay. These things are scary. Very, very scary. Their skills are actually quite good for a one-eyed Cyclops. Normally the downside of this race is that their skills are quite low, but these are respectable. Innate Poison Cloud, tears down walls, chill aura, although we can disperse that. They're never going to retreat. Good magic resistance, devastating protection, undead. Horrifying, and there's a lot of them. However, with any luck, there are about to be fewer of them, because although these guys are undead and resist cold is not resist fire, so I'm hoping for a massacre of the undeads. Interestingly enough, their bronze spears are non-magical, so they're going to have a hard time dealing with these invulnerable lions. Invulnerability 25 means unless your weapon is magical, like a fire sword or enchanted glaive, they will have considerable protection against it, 25. Thing is, these guys do 27, so they are going to get through that, but I'm curious to see how well. This is a good fight, really interesting fight. The poison is not resisted by the lions. Look at that, they're actually chilling them out. So they've got cold aura as well as poison aura. What's weird is that they're not blessing them. Guess they didn't bring a priest. These guys will be poison resistant. Yeah, the poison's going to do nothing against the shadows. I'm going to slow this down. Both sides actually struggling to hurt each other, but then in comes the big old Archon. Hilariously, the Archon is not resistant to poison and could die if they get some bad poison rolls here. But I think what's really going to make this matter are the fire snakes. That fire aura, the fire flare, the venomous fangs. Venomous fangs? No, god no, not with 20 poison resistance. Yeah, there we go. Too many of their Cyclopses burning and being eaten by invulnerable lions. They're not winning this. However, I don't want to see them retreat. I want the lions to chase down and eat all of the undead Cyclopses. Because the more that survive, the more resources this AI is going to have, and the more trouble that means for me down the line. What happened to these Sphinx anyway? So the Sphinx got fatigued out by cold, and in addition to that, they have a bunch of poison. I wish the game would show how much poison damage someone's accumulated. Does it show anywhere? Shoshra, you know absolutely everything about this game. Is there a way to see how much poison has accumulated here without calculating all of this? You can get a rough estimate by seeing how much damage she's taking per turn, although she had to go and fly away, didn't she? Yes, the horses are getting burned by friendly fire. They'll eventually all die. Okay, she has somewhere between 20 and 29 poison. We've all been this guy. This lion is frozen and on fire. They're also limp and their chest hurts. Poor lion. Alright, so this was an excellent outcome for me. It weakened the throne, and it put a lot of a dent into... I forget the name of this faction, but the undead Cyclops has just lost a lot of their elite infantry. And it's good infantry. It's not infantry that I'm well set up to deal with. I'd have to pull out my tower units. My flying units could handle them, but still not for free. What's with the suck noises? Oh, hey, look! Some of them didn't make it out because they got absolutely paralyzed by the shadows. And then they get eaten by the lions. And then the poison continues to do its thing there. So all in all, not too shabby. I'm chipping away at there, but I'm very, very happy to see 43 primordial protectors, 29 of them dying, and it's not a given that all of them successfully retreated. How about our fight at Stumbledown? Wait, didn't I already see this? Yes, I was commenting about the archers. Well, let's see it again. Dead. Dead without any faults. Glamour Gems and Litho, Water Gems and Cold Hollow, and Farguard still have scouts, apparently. I don't know how Farguard isn't completely dead and buried by now, but they are. Anyway, good job. Ishmael continues to search and find nothing. Please do better job of that. So nice to have this. Oh, and I knew it. I knew it. They had some fancy things here. Starlit Pond, Singing Stream, and a really nice fortification that is now my fortification. Palisade is being built. Palisade is being built. Palisade is being built. Palisade is being built, but not such a priority. Why is that not such a priority? I think it's more important to spend my precious money on erecting 2 additional temples. The faster we get our dominion spread here, the happier I'll be. That includes you, King Piccolo. Please build a temple right here. Alan Shix, you can't do that, so just preach. Wick, but not John. You've done an excellent job. The problem is it really a problem? You're going to have to team up with Biotic God Volus now. I'm getting to the point where I really want to bless down on my flying units, because the poison keeps knackering them. So I'm going to bring my units together. Umbra has plenty enough supplies for this, so I think Wick and Biotic God will join forces. Forte will remain on call. Maybe in somewhere like Mudwater Caves, so that she can respond to general bad things happening. Like Asphodel. Asphodel is a bad thing that's happening. Maybe even Hot Hollows? Then the moment Anakim takes Deep Mount, you can go and take care of that. That's very close to here, though. Nah, you'll be moving away soon. You go and join on the patrol here. And all is well. Alright. Excellent maneuver was made tonight. The underground is ours. Not even essentially ours, it is ours. This we can just take at our leisure whenever is convenient. This is a small problem. I could actually just leave Deep Mount, but I do want the province. The dream is that Atfasang takes it and then we take it off of them, but we shall see. Puts us in a surprisingly strong situation, despite a ropey start. The power of the underground is giving us a lot of income. We doubled our income today. We can actually check the score graph for that. Yeah, there we go. Don't know what this dip is, but income is looking alright for Javette. Atfasang looking less good. Pislarna losing a bit of their advantage as well. We're getting somewhere with that gem income. Wonder if that was the death gems coming in. Heavens knows. And look, we are accelerating on research. Our time will come. As for Dominion, we're actually doing amazing because we're spreading a lot of the love underground. So it could be we're in a... Oh, wait. What about army size? Don't look at Asphodel up there. They can't hurt you if you don't see them. Terrifying. We still have the water question to answer. But these are all questions that I can and will answer on the next time. Shorter one I was hoping for today. You can send your thanks to Hungarian Customs, which I might still have to deal with tomorrow because they said, thanks for your details, check back tomorrow. We'll see about that. Normally I'd say cheers and cheerio.